original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting suspect faces 3 charges, the most serious, as U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro explains.
Make no mistake, this was an attempted assassination of the President of the United States.
Cole Allen of Torrance, California, faces up to life in prison if convicted of attempting to kill President Trump. Pirro says of the weapons:
12-gauge pump-action Mossberg shotgun. It's a .38 semi-automatic. He had at least 3 knives and all kinds of paraphernalia.
Pirro says there will be more charges as the investigation continues. CBS's Anna Schechter.
I do think that we could be talking about terrorism charges right now. And Todd Blanche said this, they are investigating a couple of different groups that he might have been associated with, and they are going to try to find evidence where they could build a case for that.
President Trump's large, high-profile events in the coming months will face new security questions. CBS's Ed O'Keefe says the White House chief of staff will likely address the issue.
Susie Wild is going to hold a meeting, they keep telling us early this week, so not necessarily today, to go over the details of what went wrong that night and what might need to change. One of the questions we raised today is, will you see the president and vice president together at public events in the future that aren't necessarily something like the State of the Union or some other government event?
King Charles and Queen Camilla have arrived in Washington, D.C. as the head of the British monarchy kicks off a 4-day visit to the U.S. It comes amid tensions between President Trump and the UK government over the war with Iran. CBS's Natalie Brand.
On Tuesday, the president and first lady will host the king and Camilla at the White House for a state dinner. Under heightened security in the wake of this weekend's shooting at the White House Correspondents' Association dinner, the royal trip is intended to celebrate the long-standing special relationship between the U.S. and Britain.
I think it's going to be a good visit for not only our country, but for the United Kingdom as well.
King Charles will also visit the U.S. Capitol, making him the second British monarch ever to address Congress after Queen Elizabeth in 1991.
Secretary Pete Hegseth and Kid Rock flew on Apache helicopters today. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
Well, the Pentagon hasn't publicly commented yet. A U.S. official does confirm the 2 did fly Apaches from Fort Belvoir today. According to flight data, Kid Rock had reportedly flown to the military base this morning on his private jet. This comes after officials launched an investigation in response to U.S. Army Apache helicopters flying unusually low and hovering near Kid Rock's private home in Nashville last month. The incident raised concerns about safety, authorization, and proper use of military aircraft.
This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here?
How is this possible?
Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
Coming up, a grocery chain accused of a buy one, get one scam. That's after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
And this one brought to you by the Puyallup RV Show. Looking pretty normal for this time of day on most of our major routes. Here in Seattle, we're closing in on a half hour to make it through downtown northbound. Scattered backups begin as you approach the West Seattle Bridge. You'll clear out at the express lanes and then jam up again just past Mercer across the Ship Canal. After that, though, it's wide open all the way into Everett. Speaking of Everett, North 5 slows briefly between the Boeing Freeway and Highway 2. Eastbound 526 still struggling, leaving the Boeing plant over to I-5. In Kirkland, North 405, you're slow from 520 to Northeast 85th, where we had an earlier collision. It's now on your right shoulder, just under a half hour between Bellevue to Linwood. Bellevue to Renton going the other way, plan on 20 minutes. It is heavy through Factoria. Seattle to Federal Way is a half-hour commute. You're crowded from the Duwamish curve to about South 200, then you'll break free. And southbound on the Valley Freeway, pretty heavy from south of State Route 18 into Sumner. The Puyallup RV Show returns Thursday through Sunday. Hundreds of new and used RVs. Huge discounts from overstock dealers. Now through Wednesday only. Buy a ticket, get another free. PuyallupRVShow.com. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Safeway, Albertsons, and Hagen are accused of misleading shoppers through so-called buy one, get one free promotions. KIRO Radio's Luke Ducey reports the Washington Attorney General is suing.
Attorney General Brown claims in one case a Gig Harbor Albertsons hiked up the price of olive oil from $6.99 to $10.99 a week before a buy one, get one free deal. When the deal ended, Brown says the price went back down 57%. The lawsuit says the same is true for staples like bread, cereal, and fresh produce over the last 5 years.
Consumers walk into these stores, think that they're getting a bargain, but in reality, they're just paying an inflated price for that first item.
Brown Brown claims the stores overcharged shoppers on more than 3 million transactions, bringing in $20 million. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Man convicted of kidnapping, raping, and robbing women at random in the Seattle area could spend the rest of his life in prison. Judge sentenced him last Friday on 5 violent felonies across 3 cases. Senior Deputy Prosecutor Lucy Pippin says it started in March of 2023.
He stole the purse off of a woman who was just, standing on the sidewalk. And when her husband kind of tried to intervene and protect her, the defendant stabbed him like 3 times in the torso.
And the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office says the man was also armed with different weapons each time. They say his attacks were escalating. The man who triggered a shutdown of I-90 on Mercer Island in October 2024 has been sentenced to 18 months. Police say 42-year-old Sokfana Siang was holding a tennis ball bomb as officers closed in.
He threw out an explosive device. He was trying to light it.
Authorities say Siang was high on fentanyl at the time. He was trying to get away from police in a stolen car as well. Well, don't be surprised to find more trash and dirtier bathrooms the next time you go hiking, thanks to budget cuts impacting the State Department of Natural Resources. The story from KIRO News Radio's John Repp.
You'll notice the difference at DNR recreation sites near Snoqualmie Pass, according to the Seattle Times. That includes Tiger Mountain State Forest, Rattlesnake Mountain Scenic Area, and Mount Si and Middle Fork Snoqualmie Natural Resources Conservation Areas. DNR officials are urging you to pack out any trash, leave no trace, and plan ahead before you visit. John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Weather update now. Mostly cloudy skies for the rest of the afternoon and tonight. More clouds tomorrow, then sunshine returns by midweek. Right now, 58 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Go. All right, the John Curley Show. I know we know it's a different beginning. Never mind, Joe. Well, I guess the big news is Joe's back.
So sad.
Don't have to look at any more pictures of him with his shirt off in Hawaii.
You can if you want to. I got more.
Ew. Teeny liking.
Do you know how sad Andrew is that you don't allow him to play a drop at the top of the hour anymore?
No. I'm sorry, Andrew. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You can lobby
He's
for
not
it.
going to say it. I'll say it for him.
No, go ahead. Why do you think they're so good?
They're fun. I won't deny that I don't miss the pressure having to find one.
All right.
Nice. And it is a little inside baseball, like you said. Little referential.
A little?
Nice creative outlet for him.
He's got farts.
That's barely.
I have a lot to work. With.
He's got sounds. He's got bing bongs and fart. He can do what he wants.
Okay.
There you go. There's one for you.
Nice. Thank you, Andrew.
Let me rip one over near Joe's direction. There you go. You happy now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
good. Let's see. All right. You're so depressed because you're back at work. So when people spend time at vacation, normally when they spend that time, they are sort of taking scope of their life and figuring out, okay, I got to go back. Do I want to do something else? You're sitting there on the beach, you're watching the waves, you're spending some time with your wife, and then you think, I got to go back there.
I don't think
And then you pulled the fire alarm. So we all had to leave the building.
It's true. I didn't get the sun I was hoping for, though. Rained on us.
How close? Where, 10, I can't wait to get back to work. I love the show. That's 10. The day you left Hawaii, where were you?
If I'm being completely honest.
That's all we're looking for.
I think I've never been more ready to come back to work than I was after this vacation.
Why?
I felt it served a unique purpose. It was just like a beach rejuvenation, relaxation vacation. We didn't have to run around some city and somewhere. We just got to chill. So I got what I went for.
All right.
I knew something wild would happen. I don't know, Saturday night, and we'd have to talk about it. And I'm excited for that. I actually enjoy working with you.
Oh, good, because I was concerned you're going to come back and look at me as like I'm the person making you do this work.
No. We get to search for the truth. It's better than that.
Here we go.
Did you get laid when you were down there?
I did. Thank you.
Right at the airport?
No, at the hotel.
No, I mean, I'm talking about the flowers.
So am I.
Oh.
Late. Anything else, Nate? Any other double entendre?
No, usually, when the Howleys come off from the mainland, the Hawaiian locals like to give them a lei. Just welcome them.
Not get it.
Never mind. The big story is Nate makes a double entendre and then tries to explain it. Andrew upset that he can't use random drops from a voicemail where we only get 3 calls, and many of them are too inside baseball. Joe returns back from Hawaii and is actually happy to be here. And then Andrew makes a fart sound underneath Joe. Those are the stories. Gee whiz. We've got big news.
I know.
Which leads me to, I was thinking. Andrew's on vacation. I did a awkward search on Google. What was it? Google
Trends.
Google Trends. I had a theory. I thought, okay, July 2024, Trump first assassination, how many people looked? And then I asked Joe, he went on there and looked at it, how many people looked at the third assassination against Donald Trump? It had dropped by 20% as best we could tell. It might be a little higher than that, but it looked like 20%. So what happened is that on Saturday evening at the Correspondents' Dinner, as you know, there was a guy, 31 years old, that ran past security. His attempt was to get in there and to kill I assume Trump, although he didn't mention that. It was all the people responsible for all the horrible things, except for Kash Patel. He doesn't have him in the list. Okay. So the fact that there was a decrease in the number of people looking basically tells you, me anyway, I can extrapolate out those numbers to people have become weary or have lost interest, or the fact that someone's trying to kill the president of the United States doesn't register that much for people. And I have to tell you, from a personal point of view, I was having dinner at the Brick, and it popped up on the phone. I looked at it for about a minute or something. I didn't bother reading anything else, put the phone down, and went back to having a conversation with my wife. And I'm in this business. This is our milk and this is our bread and butter stuff with milk on the side. If you're lactose intolerant, you can ignore that. But this is the stuff this is our whole life. Sadly, Joe was away from it for a while. So here's a little quiz for you. Name the first shooter, the one in Butler. No, it's his name.
Am I allowed to participate?
No. Okay. Thomas, Matthew, last name? You probably still don't know, and I'm not going to tell you. How about the second guy in Florida? That was in September 2025. Do you know that guy's name? Don't feel bad, because I had to look that guy up. I knew the one guy. I knew Matthew Thomas Crux. I didn't know the other guy. Ryan Roth, R-O-U-T-H. What does it say about us that you struggled with the first one, I'm assuming, and the second one you had no idea, and I didn't remember that guy? These are attempts on the president of the United States, and they are just sort of passing as other things that are scrolling by. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. There were more than 650 attempts on Castro's life. He bragged one time when going to New York City that he never wore a bulletproof vest. As he took his shirt open like this, he pulled it open and says that he had moral protection. The Albanian president, Zog the first, there were 50 attempts on his life. In fact, when he was coming out of the opera one evening, these two guys came up to shoot him and kill him. He pulled out a gun and shot and killed those two. It's really odd when you think about us as a society, America at least, that the attempts on the president's life are not as big of a deal as a coach having an affair with someone or some other story. Maybe it's just the speed in which the news goes by. The manifesto, written by Cole Allen. Yeah, here it is if you haven't heard it. What I'm going to ask you to listen for in this is the number of times I is said, and then how often he's able to take himself, put himself in the middle and being the solution to the problem, as he defines what the problem is. Very similar to Luigi Mangione's manifesto, where he saw Brian Thomas, the president of United Healthcare, as the problem, and it was going to be up to him to solve this problem, that no one else had the courage to do what he was about to do, which the courage of assassinating a man walking down the street in New York from behind. That's that you are the hero of all heroes, Mangione. So here's what Cole writes, and you just ask yourself, we're still searching to find out motives. Excuse me, he wrote it on a thing at the hotel and left it, and looking for motives and looking for clues, as the officials are saying. To me, anybody who does this has got to screw loose. And when you start with, by the way, you're 6 minutes away from leaving your hotel room with a bunch of knives, a shotgun, and a pistol, okay? And you start with, "Hello, everybody!" exclamation point. So I may have given a lot of people surprise today. Let me start off by apologizing to everyone who trust I abused. Okay, so he's immediately trying to make good with other people that he thinks cared about him. I apologize to my parents for saying I had an interview without specifics for the most wanted. I apologize to my colleagues and students for saying I had a personal emergency. By the time anyone reads this, I'll probably most certainly do need to go to the ER, but can hardly call it a self-inflicted status. I apologize to all the people I traveled next to, all the workers who handled my luggage, all the non-targeted people at the hotel who I put in danger simply by being near. I apologize to everyone who was abused or murdered before this, to all those who suffered before I was able to attempt this, to all those who may still suffer afterwards, regardless of my success or failure. So he is now the center of everything. But I want to apologize to people that handled my luggage for whatever reason. I don't know why those people need the apology from him. I don't expect forgiveness, but I could. But if I could have seen any other way to get this close, I would have taken it. Again, my sincere apologies. Trying to get close. And on to this. Why? I'm an American citizen in the United States. What my representatives do reflect on me. I see. Right. So it's all the actions, the stuff that's happening in the world, your representatives, it comes back to you. So now you are responsible. So now you bear the responsibility, the actions of a bunch of other people. I'm no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. So now you're going to take this on. Well, to be completely honest, that's in parentheses, I was no longer willing a long time ago, but this was the first real opportunity and I had to do something about it, close parentheses. While I'm discussing this, I'll also go over my expected rules of engagement, probably in terrible format, but I'm not military, so too bad. And then he goes on to explain who he's going to go after and not go after. And then down the bottom, guest ducking for cover inside the Washington Hilton ballroom. One little part there. Okay, I would go further. Most everyone here to get to the target if it were absolutely necessary. Parentheses, on the basis that most people choose to attend a speech by a pedophile, rapist, traitor, and thus are complicit. So if I hit some other people on the way, well, because they wanted to go to this thing, they too are guilty of being a part of it. But I really hope it doesn't come to that. All right, here's the reasons. Objections. The objections to this. As a Christian, you should turn the other cheek. Rebuttal. So he's having a discussion with himself. Turn the other cheek is for when you yourself are oppressed. If not, the person raped in the detention camp. I am not the fisherman executed without trial. I'm not the school children blown up, starved, or the teenage girl abused by many criminals in this administration. Turning the other cheek when someone else is oppressed is not Christian behavior. It's complicit in the oppressor's crime. Okay, that's the Jesus was talking. That's from Matthew, and Jesus is talking about turning the other cheek, and it's basically what he was trying to do was create a break between the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament being eye for an eye. So he was creating the distance for this is the new way, the Old Testament, an eye for an eye. And Jesus says, no, if they slap your right cheek, turn the other cheek. All right, so that guy's reference makes no sense. Objection number 2, this is not a convenient time for you to do this. I don't know what the hell he's talking about there. Then he goes on with some rebuttal to that one. Number 3, you didn't get them all. Rebuttal, got to start somewhere. 4, as a half black, half white person, you shouldn't be doing something like this. Rebuttal, I don't see anyone else picking up the slack. 5, yield to Caesar what is Caesar. Again, I don't know who's making these arguments. Basically saying, okay, I would extend my appreciation to great many people since I will not likely be able to talk to them unless the Secret Service is astonishingly incompetent. So he thinks he's going to die. Thank you to my family, my personal and church for the love of all these 31 years. Thank you to my friends, my companions over the years. Thank you to my colleagues over many jobs. Thank you for my students for enthusiasm and learning. And then he just makes a bunch of other stuff. And it's like, first of all, can we just start with the fact that this is a mentally ill individual who has some serious problems with himself, taking it out on society, and somehow feeling as if he is going to right all of these wrongs, that it's up to him because no one else would do it. Signs off with, thanks for everything. Sincerely, Cold Force, friendly federal assassin, Allen. P.S. Okay, now that all the sappy stuff is done, what the hell is with the Secret Service doing? And then he goes on to talk about how he just walked in without anybody stopping him. I am afraid that if the President of the United States were assassinated, I think most people would go at that point, well, yeah, kind of saw it coming. And then what happens? J.D. Vance gets in place, then he has to nominate somebody, be VP, and then the world just keeps going on. I don't think the right should keep saying to the left, you need to take responsibility for the language. Sure, everybody knows that. Will they? No. What will change? I just think at some point somebody else, because most of these situations, if you looked at what happened in Pennsylvania, and then shortly thereafter, 2 months later, then you had the attempt in Florida, these things are copycat. It inspires somebody. The fact that he's still alive also could inspire somebody. And it's unfortunate. And what will happen? Just for a moment, just close your eyes and imagine that Trump does get assassinated. God forbid. Whether you love him or hate him, it doesn't matter. This is not how we're supposed to have our rules set up. This is not Colombia, where since 1983 to 2023, there's been more 2,000 political leaders have been assassinated. Is that the world when you live in? Will you want to live in that world? So what happens if Trump gets assassinated? Somebody from the hard right comes up and takes a shot at somebody else, and then we go back and forth and back and forth. Does anything get solved? Probably not. But I think it truly speaks to where the American people are and the consumption of news that most people, and I include myself in this, can read that the President of the United States was in a room and a man tried to run in there with a shotgun and shoot a bunch of people. And I just went back to my cheeseburger. Weird. And maybe that's just me.
It was not just you.
No?
No. Even just going back.
Did you have a cheeseburger on Saturday too?
Actually, I did. It's really good. Laotian cheeseburger. Highly recommend it. But even when the Butler assassination attempt happened, I mean, we were constantly in contact over the weekend. Who we're going to talk to? What's the angle we're going to take on this? I didn't say a word to you till earlier this morning.
That's because I was giving you. I didn't even know you were coming back today.
Yeah, you did ask me about 3 times.
All right. I guess I'm just guilty if somebody else is guilty. All right, here comes Nate. Check your traffic. Nathan.
Thanks, John. The Puyallup RV Show has our update. In Renton, South 405 and Northeast 30th, we just pulled a collision out of your way. It's on the right shoulder. It was blocking long enough to create a bumper-to-bumper backup starting near I-90. So Bellevue to Renton, right now, you're in a 10-minute delay. It's taking you a half hour. Heading the other way, North 405 slows from 520 in Kirkland up to 522 in Bothell. Bellevue to Linwood, plan on 25 minutes. Here in Seattle, it's 25 minutes north 5 through downtown. Scattered backup start at the West Seattle Bridge. Renton to Puyallup on 167 is a 35-minute drive. The north end looking good. The south end, though, is heavy from State Route 18 into Puyallup now. Down at the county line, South 5, we're solid from State Route 18 down to about 54th in Fife, 20 minutes from Federal Way to Tacoma. If you're heading out toward Gig Harbor, westbound 16 is heavy from the west end of the Narrows up to Olympic Drive. And the Hood Canal Bridge right now is closed for marine traffic as we're seeing just brief backups approaching the bridge. The Puyallup RV Show is back April 30th through May 3rd. Check out all the new and pre-owned models and from 15 local dealers. Kids and parking always free. PuyallupRVShow.com. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. I know what it's like. I know. Then watch the hair begin to thin, then that crown disappears, and that hair loss, you feel like it's robbing you of your identity. That's how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair, because Advanced Hair has got this simple one-day treatment. One day. They regrew my own natural hair. They do the exact same thing for you. You look in the mirror and you're like, oh boy, I'm losing my hair. Maybe it was uncle on your brother's side or your father's mother's brother's sister or someone in the family handed down these genes to you, and all of a sudden you're the one going bald. It's not fair, but life isn't fair. But you know what? You know what you can do? You can fix it. You just simply do the exact same thing that thousands and thousands and thousands of people do. They call up. They set up a free consultation. They get $250 off, 250 free hair grafts by calling 425-449-8185. You don't want to wait, because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year 2 years in a row. So give them a call now at 425-449-8185 or check them out online at advancedhair.com.
KIRO News Radio, always first with the news, even if briefly, we are the news.
We are hearing fire alarms. We are told that this is not a drill.
20 minutes later.
Luckily, just a false alarm.
Not a drill.
Not a drill.
Get out of the building.
Yes.
Big thanks to the men and women of the Seattle Fire Department for the quick response and great work they do every day. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, Tila has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call Tila Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
With the experience of over 150,000 procedures, the doctors at K2 Vision will know which procedure is best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at k2visionrle.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
This is the story of the one.
As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The Justice Department today charged the shooting suspect from California who tried to storm the White House Correspondents' Dinner, acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche.
Today, the Department of Justice filed 3 federal charges in United States District Court against Cole Thomas Allen.
Those charges included the attempted assassination of President Trump. More from CBS's Cami McCormick.
U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro says there will be additional charges as the investigation continues, and the suspect, she said, made his intentions clear.
That intent was to bring down as many of the high-ranking cabinet officials as he could.
Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle, meanwhile, are raising questions about the security planning for the event.
Suspect is accused of arriving at that event with a shotgun, handgun, and knives. He could face life in prison if convicted. Police in Kent are investigating an early morning home invasion that left an intruder with gunshot wounds. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
Kent police say the homeowner called 911 just after 3 a.m. A loud noise and intruders inside the home near Cambridge Drive and Hampton Way. Kent PD Assistant Chief Jared Kasner.
When our officers arrived, they did in fact find an individual that had been shot after breaking into the residence.
The injured suspect was hit multiple times and taken to Harborview Medical Center. Police don't believe he was there alone, but any other suspects fled before police arrived, and the investigation is ongoing. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
King County Council members want to establish a new office whose sole job would be to investigate fraud. King County Council member Rod Dembowski introduced that proposal to create an independent Inspector General Division.
Generally, these have a way of paying for themselves. 1, in recoveries, but 2, also in prevention.
He says the legislation has broad support in the wake of last year's audits, highlighting loopholes and potential fraud. If you're planning a summer getaway to Mexico from Seattle, Delta Airlines is pulling back. Airline says it's pausing or reducing several nonstop flights from SeaTac to destinations including Cancun, Los Cabos, and Puerto Vallarta. Some routes will be suspended entirely for parts of the summer and fall. Delta says rising costs and seasonal scheduling drove that decision. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:33. Here's Nate Connors.
And this one's brought to us by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Overall, lighter than normal volumes, but not all of you. Bellevue to Renton's going to take you a half hour. Scattered backups between South Bellevue and the Renton Landing. It is really thick until you get past about 112th as we continue to recover from an earlier crash at Northeast 30th. North 405 is slow from 520 there in Kirkland up to 522. Bellevue to Linwood's right around 25 minutes. In comparison, Seattle to Linwood looking good at 20 minutes. You are slow through Shoreline. South 5 heavy at the Ship Canal Bridge to I-90. It's about 25 minutes. North 5 through downtown Seattle. Your scattered backup start at the West Seattle Bridge. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway up to 40 minutes now. Scattered slowing in the north end. It gets heavy though once you hit State Route 18 into Puyallup. Gig Harbor westbound 16. That backup is already starting to thin out, starting west of the Narrows up to Olympic Drive. Hood Canal Bridge remains closed for marine traffic, and we're looking at growing backups as you approach the bridge. Get 20% off energy efficient windows and doors plus $1,000 off complete home installs through April 30th. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Still cloudy out there. Expecting more clouds for tomorrow with temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s before the sun returns by midweek. Right now, 58 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home Comfort Alliance. When it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Home Comfort Alliance. They're going to Alliance. Home Comfort Alliance. You buy the cooling, you get the heating for free.
Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah, it's written down.
Oh, okay.
No, everything I say is written down.
Big script.
Big script.
Why?
What?
No, I'll fix it later. It's fine.
Hold on.
Oh. I mean, come on. Come on, guys. Is this a set or a trash can?
I don't believe this. Right?
We'll pull what we need out later.
Huh?
But thank you.
Look at that, huh? That's the garbage dump back there. Trying to do a radio show here. Get down on the line. Is down on the line? Get down on the line. Tune in. Where are those photos I want to see? I'm coming out of a dead dog dedication with a bunch of garbage behind me. Oh, hey, everybody. Welcome to the John Curley Show. Muckasu Casino Resort. Text line is 1-888-973-5476. What had the last bit of news, I guess, was the thing that stirred your attention? Was the CBS thing they're talking about? The charges brought against the Cole Allen, 31-year-old guy. By the way, my friend, Daniel Flynn from American Spectator is going to join us. His theory on this, somebody like this, is that these guys are overeducated and then there's no place for them in society because it's like, well, they got all these skills, but then nobody appreciates how smart they are. Cole was described as almost a genius by others. A very nice kid, sat in the front row, very involved in classes, the big degrees. And
Caltech, right?
Caltech, and then he's studying mechanical engineering, and then just sort of, what am I going to do? I think he lived with his parents in his basement.
But at what point, if they're so educated, you would think, and that there's no doubting his education, clearly. Some of his classmates said, oh, we're all a little autistic, whatever that means. But wouldn't he realize that if he was successful in this, you're making a martyr out. If you hate the guy, you're making a martyr out of him. You're not changing that. All the Democrat isn't suddenly going to be in the White House, or if that's what you want. It's not going to stop the international conflicts. Like there's nothing to be gained from killing the president.
How involved? Start to look for patterns. Luigi Mangione, same sort of thing. So I think University of Pennsylvania, I think I was there. A whole lot of money. His parents came from money, went to private schools. This guy went to a private school, but not a very expensive one. And then he ends up, Mangione's in Hawaii. He's got a bad back, gets on some painkillers and some antidepressants and stuff. But he sort of removed himself from the general flow, separated himself from his friends and his family. He wasn't communicating with any of those. When he decided after, I guess, because he was in some pain, or even though his parents had enough money to pay for everything, he's going to take on the cause.
Right.
It really does all of a sudden make you become the talk of the town, but not even the talk of the town for any more than like 6 hours, and then people move on to other stuff.
We will have forgotten his name in 2 weeks.
Yes.
In fact, you got it backwards. Just
Cole Allen.
Yeah, you read it.
It's spelled as Allen, by the way.
That's correct. Nice.
For any would-be assassins out there, guess what? You're not really going to change anything. But I think you just sort of feel like, hey, I got nothing. I'm not anywhere in the world. Nothing's really happening for me. I'm not involved. Yes, he was a teacher, but he was a teacher as a tutor at like one of those strip malls for advancement in college prep or something like that. But not really active in society.
And even the only thing he accomplished, which should be, according to his manifesto, is taking attention away from what's going on in Iran and Lebanon, taking attention away from the Epstein list. All he did was create a new distraction from the things that he cares about.
And the other part of it, here we are sitting here trying to take what is a completely irrational, perverted view of one person's actions against all these other things that he sees happening, and no one else will do anything. And we're trying to, what he meant by that. Cuckoo, you're going to go in and kill people.
Yeah.
Because you have been reading stuff or looking at stuff, and you hear things about people saying, well, this person has to be taken out, or Trump's a Nazi. That thousands and millions of people read that stuff all the time and don't decide to get a gun and go ahead and shoot and kill somebody.
Agreed.
All right. Here's the weird part. The fact that we're moving on. This is like just a couple of hours after all of this happened. Now, the shot didn't come into the ballroom, but Trump is doing a press conference, and rather than talking about, well, he did talk about we should probably bring down the temperature, that sort of stuff. He said the same sort of thing after Butler. But then he moves right on to, well, hold on. I'm blaming that on you, Joe.
Right on to.
Then he moves right on to.
We looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, it's not a particularly secure building. And I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it. They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before.
I got to give him credit for moving on, but using this as a chance to go, look, the Hilton there is it's kind of rough, but over here, if we were to build this, we wouldn't have these sorts of problems. Man, I guess there's one way to sell it.
But two things. One, this is a private event, not a White House sponsored event. They don't put it on, so it probably would have happened somewhere else anyway. Two, this and Joe Kent pointed this out when he resigned. The security, Trump's security, is failing him, and they have failed him on multiple occasions in glaring ways. I mean, the fact that this guy got anywhere near there.
Well, I used to go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner before it became the thing. Yeah. In fact, people, you want to go? I don't feel like going. Now politics is more theater, and it's more exciting to see everybody. We went to it 2 or 3 times. You go down all these steps to get down to that main ballroom. So I think when he made it past the part of the metal detector, ran about 40 yards, but he hadn't gotten to the step. If he had gone down the steps and then the ballroom, I think, is to the left or the right, the big ballroom is downstairs. He didn't get to those steps, so he did not get to the doors that would lead into the actual ballroom.
But I would think if you're the Secret Service and you're hosting an event with everybody in the line of succession in this hotel, that you would have every room in that building sniffed out for a week. Nobody goes in and out of there. I mean, that's their job, right?
Yeah, but I don't think because even in public buildings, like going to a restaurant, they come in and they do a sweep to check out, which is however they're supposed to know. They sweep the whole restaurant, look around, then they set up the metal detectors. That used to happen all the time. Clinton would come in to have dinner at a restaurant, and you're like, oh, the president must be showing up here. And then there he is, he's surrounded. You're never going to give him 100% protection. And listen, they set up as best they possibly could. The good news is that he didn't get his shot off. And that's the end of the story, because
for today.
Do you think, and I'm not trying to be macabre, and I'm not in any way, do you think there'll be another attempt on his life within the next 6 months?
Honestly, probably. It wouldn't surprise me, I'll put it that way.
Yep, I agree. Here comes Nate checking traffic, Nathan.
All right, Bellevue to Renton, plan on a half hour. It's solid from Southeast 8th and Bellevue to the Renton Landing now. No breaks in the middle anymore. North 405 in the south end is off and on, slowing from South Center through the Renton S-curves. Seattle to Federal Way is taking a half hour, but you're looking good along South Center. In fact, it's mostly clear along South Center. It's right around South 312th where traffic jams up. Looks like we may have a brand new crash down there. The Hood Canal Bridge just reopened to vehicle traffic. Tacoma to Olympia is going to take you 35 minutes. Driving through Seattle, typical backups. North 5 starts at the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. Right around a half hour to clear all this. And then South 5 is thick from the Ship Canal Bridge down to I-90. And really, we're looking at normal to lighter than normal volumes this afternoon. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. When it comes to replacing a comfort system, homeowners want 3 things, just 3 things. They want quality they can trust, service they respect, that respects their time, and confidence that they're making the right decision. So how do you get all 3 of those? Well, that's where Home Comfort Alliance stands apart. They are a Carrier factory authorized dealer. That means they have to meet strict milestones when it comes to training, installation, quality, customer satisfaction. Benchmarks that only the best contractors can achieve. That's why their reviews are always in the top of the class. Now, when you want efficiency, reliability, and quiet performance of professional installation, because all of that matters, especially when comfort impacts your lifestyle and your home value, Home Comfort Alliance makes the process so easy. With an online price estimator, you get it there in 60 seconds. You get a clear, honest quote without wasting your time. And right now, get this, you can upgrade to a Carrier cooling system. Home Comfort Alliance will give you a new heating system free. Plus, they'll handle all the utility rebates, available discounts to get you the best possible value. For the world we share, choose Carrier and Home Comfort Alliance. That's homecomfortalliance.com.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we know that keeping your home watertight and dry is essential to your family's safety and comfort. Having well-functioning gutters prevents water damage to your home and prolongs the life of your roof. Whether you need a cleaning or a complete gutter install, we do it all. Call today and get $250 off a gutter installation and visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Looking for lumber with a story? Then you've got to check out the new Earthwise Salvage Lumber Warehouse in Soto. Be the first to get your hands on reclaimed lumber with original character and local history. Their warehouse is packed with new inventory now. But when this wood is gone, it's gone. So act fast. Come visit the Salvage Lumber Warehouse for the grand opening on May 2nd from 11 to 3 in Soto. And remember, this lumber is harvested from structures, not forests. Find them at ewsalvage.com.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
Tune in to elevate your wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn. With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix them.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Summertime means sunshine, baseball games, beach trips, hiking, sandwiches at the summit. So don't let your bank stop you from having fun. Free checking at WaFd Bank is the way to go. There are no minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. Plus, you'll get spending tools and the latest technology to help you stick to your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank a best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states, so you have access wherever you are. Visit WaFdBank.com to open your account. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Missing teeth?
Or tired of dentures? South Seattle Smiles offers permanent dental implants to restore your smile. Ask about their discount cash pricing and get a free consultation. Call South Seattle Smiles or visit southseattlesmiles.com.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Summer's right around the corner. Procrastinators, beware. Valentine Roofing schedule is filling up now, and you don't want to be stuck with the other guys. So call 206 Roofing today, and Valentine can still start your roof in as little as 3 weeks. Then you can enjoy barbecuing on your deck in the backyard without worrying about old shingles falling on your head. So call 206 Roofing today, and I guarantee there'll be no surprise, just a clear estimate that you can trust. Call 206 Roofing, and remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Here we go, the John Curley Show, and you coming along. My buddy Daniel Flynn. Highly recommend you enjoy Daniel Flynn's work at YouTube. It's called Right Wing Wilderness. And I like the work that he did, especially we're going to go back to the idea of the people that are trying to kill the president and sort of the mindset of them. And Dan has an interesting perspective. We'll get that in a second. But first, I'll start with a confession that I didn't realize that ChatGPT is not always right. So I've been testing it recently just to like put something in I know, and then it comes up like, well, I don't think that's correct. And then I'll write back, oh, really? Maybe you should check your facts. Then it'll write back, oh, yes, there is that you mentioned. And then I'll write back, no, I didn't mention it. I told you that's what it was, and you told me it wasn't, and now I'm telling you should check your facts.
You guys have a toxic relationship.
I'm like, oh, you are not the oracle that knows everything. You're just some machine, and then I'm like, and I tested it on another one, and it's like, nope. There's no evidence of that. Oh, really? Well, what about this RAND study? And then it goes, oh, since you mentioned the RAND study, I hate the thing now.
Well, can you share what you were...
Okay, here it is. I wanted to see if one particular auction that I'd done the year before, in 2024, I did this auction. They raised $5 million. Then I looked, is this the most amount of money ever raised? No, the following year they raised $5.5 million. This particular auctioneer raised more money than John Curley. And I wrote, really? Well, if you look at the numbers, one of them got $1 million donation and the other one did not. So you remove the $1 million, you come down, and you'll see that John Curley raised more money than the other auctioneer.
Now, wait a minute. So is this readily available information on the internet?
I know. And then the chat writes back, well, technically, you're right. Technically, yeah, I want a technical number, meaning one number is greater than another number. But that this other auctioneer does this and this and this, and that probably created an environment where the person felt comfortable giving $1 million. No, I know who gave the $1 million, and they gave the $1 million ahead. So I'm like an hour into this on the phone, on the plane. Yeah. Burning through, I don't know how many gigawatts or whatever.
Draining lakes.
Draining lakes. Because every time you go to ChatGPT, you're using a glass of water. One of them. And it's like turning on and off the lights, I don't know, 100 times or something like that. I got to ask Chat, but he probably doesn't know. So it's like...
Well, hey, did it acquiesce in the end and say, you know...
No, still wouldn't give me the love. Referred to me as a theatrically trained MC, not a professional auctioneer. And that just got my goat.
Both things are true.
And I wrote, you got my goat? Which goat are you referring to? Screw you.
I might be with Chad on this one. I mean, even if it's a million...
You know what, Joe? You're dead to me.
Oh, all right.
You're dead to me with your tan, but you have a chance to come back. Okay. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Thanks, John. Seattle to Everett's going to take you just 35 minutes. You're a little crowded through Shoreline. Then again, north of that Linwood interchange, but nothing heavy here. Bellevue to Everett, though, a 50-minute commute, and we're looking at building volumes between Kirkland and Cannon Park. Everett to Marysville looking great as well, less than 10 minutes. Now, South 5 heading into Seattle. You're packed approaching the Ship Canal Bridge all the way to I-90. That is a bumper-to-bumper grind there. It's a 20-minute trip between Linwood and downtown Seattle. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 25 minutes on 520. You're all clear till you hit Montlake, and it's less than 20 minutes on I-90, but you are slow across that lake bridge into the Mount Baker Tunnel. And in Federal Way, South 5 and South 312th, indeed, we have a crash blocking that right lane. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Summer's right around the corner. Can you say World Series? I don't want to jinx anybody, and I don't want to jinx that heating system or cooling system that you have, but it could possibly out at home. So the best thing to do right now is to replace the system. You want it done right and done fast. Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Upgrade to a Lennox cooling system and get a new heating system free. Plus available utility rebates. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com today.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
KIRO News Radio, always first with the news, even if briefly, we are the news.
We are hearing fire alarms. We are told that this is not a drill.
20 minutes later.
Luckily, just a false alarm.
Not a drill.
Not a drill.
Get out of the building.
Yes.
Big thanks to the men and women of the Seattle Fire Department for the quick response and great work they do every day. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC, well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got three options. Number one, sell your home. 2, get a HELOC or refinance. Or 3, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your your free health analysis, go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The man who allegedly fired shots inside the hotel where the White House Correspondents' Dinner was taking place Saturday has been charged with attempted assassination. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The suspect was charged with trying to assassinate the president, but U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro said there will be more charges.
Cole Allen's journey of accountability in the criminal justice system starts today.
While Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche defended the actions of security personnel.
Law enforcement did not fail. They did exactly what they are trained to do.
The incident has prompted reviews, including by the White House. The Secret Service said today it will enhance security at events moving forward.
CBS's Ed O'Keefe has more on safety protocols moving forward.
The Secret Service director was up on Capitol Hill to meet with senior lawmakers to answer some questions about what exactly happened, and that the Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, over here, is set to lead a review of what went wrong on Saturday night, what went right, and what might have to be changed or enhanced going forward. Remember, this is a president who likes to be seen in public and is quite eager to do a few things in this even-numbered year.
King Charles and Queen Camilla are now in Washington, D.C., according to CBS's Natalie Brand.
On Tuesday, the president and first lady will host the king and Camilla at the White House for a state dinner. Under heightened security in the wake of this weekend's shooting at the White House Correspondents' Association dinner, the royal trip is intended to celebrate the long-standing special relationship between the U.S. and Britain.
I think it's going to be a good visit for not only our country, but for the United Kingdom as well.
That's royal memorabilia collector John Hostin. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Kid Rock flew on Apache helicopters from Fort Belvoir in Virginia today. This comes after military helicopters hovered near Kid Rock's private residence in Nashville last month. The Pentagon says that today Kid Rock was taking part in a Freedom 250th Community Relations event that included service members and helicopters. Jury selection has started as Elon Musk is suing OpenAI and its leaders, including CEO Sam Altman, claiming the company violated its original mission of creating artificial intelligence to benefit humanity when it shifted to a for-profit structure. OpenAI says Musk is trying to derail the company for the benefit of its own AI goals. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
It's a somewhat novel theory that a nonprofit's initial promises about the mission and what they want to do are legally enforceable promises that could lead to breach of charitable trust and unjust enrichment.
This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Coming up, sentencing day for a man who shut down a freeway with a makeshift bomb. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thank you, Aaron. Global Credit Union has our update. Let's start you with our newest collision in Federal Way. South 5 at South 312th. The collision is in that right lane. We've got a thick backup starting near South 188. Seattle to Federal Way is up to 40 minutes. Luckily, we've got Monday light volumes out there for the most part. This was tomorrow. We'd be probably seeing a double this size backup. Tacoma, southbound 509 at Alexander. We've got a blocking issue. You're sitting in about a 1 mile thick backup. Details are unclear exactly what is the what the issue is. Tacoma to Olympia looking great, just 35 minutes. Here in Seattle, South 5, you're bumper to bumper approaching the Ship Canal Bridge down to I-90. 20 to 25 minutes between Linwood and downtown Seattle. North 5 has about a half-hour drive through downtown. Scattered backup starting before the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. Seattle to Everett, just a 35-minute drive. A little crowding to get through Shoreline and a little more just north of that Linwood interchange. But again, nothing heavy here. Bellevue to Everett's at 50 minutes. We continue to see building volumes between Kirkland and Canyon Park. And Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. It's solid from Southeast 8th to the Renton Landing. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A King County man who shut down I-90 on Mercer Island with a homemade explosive is heading to federal prison. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay has the updates.
42-year-old Sakfana Siong was sentenced to 18 months. He jumped from a moving car during a slow-speed chase back in October of 2024. He was holding a tennis ball bomb and a lighter.
Call the bomb squad. He threw out an explosive device.
Bellevue police had been called out to Anatai Beach Park that day after getting reports of two men sleeping in a car with the motor running. They say Siong ran over spike strips to get away, puncturing all four tires. Authorities say he was high on fentanyl at the time. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Also today, a judge handed down a 27-year prison sentence to a Seattle man behind a multi-city carjacking spree back in 2022. Court records say Mayor Tang Rambang targeted drivers from Kent to Seattle, shot one victim in the leg, and was arrested after a high-speed chase. Washington's Attorney General now suing Safeway, Albertsons, and Hagen, claiming the grocery stores are violating consumer protection laws. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports.
A.G. Brown claims over the last 5 years, the stores have been enticing shoppers to buy one, get one free on items like bread, cereal, fresh produce, and olive oil, but have been artificially jacking up the price on those same items weeks before the supposed deals.
And my daughter was even commenting about how expensive our sort of regular weekly trip to the grocery store was. And part of that is because of misleading practices like this.
Brown claims the stores overcharged shoppers on more than 3 million transactions, bringing in $20 million. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
State Senator Jamie Peterson says the Washington Supreme Court got it wrong in 1933 when it classified income as property.
We must get the Supreme Court to change its or to indicate that it doesn't agree with what their long dead predecessors did in 1933. If we want to have this kind of a change in the tax system.
He tells KIRO Radio's Gian Ursula that is the only way to uphold the newly passed income tax on millionaires. Former Washington Attorney General Rob McKenna leading the lawsuit against that tax. He argues it violates the Constitution, precedents, and the will of voters. To your weather update now. Cloudy skies tonight and more clouds come tomorrow with highs in the upper 50s. Right now, 57 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Now who's on vacation?
That's all right. I was busy listening to Aaron. Here we go with the John Curley Show, everybody. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is there for you. 1-888-973-5476. Whenever we have this guy on, I want to develop a Boston accent.
Oh,
I know.
It's my favorite part.
We have him on. Diving into the news. The man I wake up to every morning via email. Daniel Flynn, also known as Dan Flynn. This is a YouTube video blog I highly recommend that people subscribe to enjoy the work of a guy that I deeply admire, Daniel Flynn from American Spectator, Right Wing Wilderness. It's a long name, but it's well worth the finding your home keys and typing it all in. Mr. Flynn, welcome.
Thank you. I hate the Boston accent. I'm sick of it.
Do you want to do a little self-exploration here and share with the audience what other accent you'd like to develop?
I don't know. I just know from my, when I used to hear my grandparents talk, the accent was so much stronger back then. And I think with all the accents around the country, it's been diluted because of people like you on mass media. They listen to the radio and everyone sort of gets the same accent after a while. But I get sick of it around here.
My first wife, we refer to her as number one. She was in a show called Nonsense. There's a little theater there in Boston. It's next to the Wang, and she performed Nonsense there for 2 years. So at Christmas, I decided, well, I'm going to go to church, and I forget which, it was a Christmas mass or something. And the priest is like, okay, turn your books to, and Dan, the first word out of their mouth on this one particular song was, hark the herald. It was hark. I was like, what the hell is that? It was an
Boston
awful sound. So I'm with you, and we'll forgive your Boston accent. It's something that's been handed down to you from generations to generations.
And not to belabor the point, but the reason I have the
I think
right
it's too late. I think it's too late for that, Dan. But go ahead.
Well, I go up to Vermont to escape all that.
Yes. So. Okay, good. Well, we find it endearing, and just about anything you say will be, isn't that cute? All right, so the piece that you wrote in American Spectator, taking a look at the last attempt on Trump's life from Cole Thomas Allen, as you sort of put together the pieces of this, you see somewhat of a pattern. Now, you wrote this at, I don't know what time. I got it at 2 o'clock in the morning. Do you want to amend or revise anything you saw when looking at Mr. Allen and then some other people that seem to have aspirations of making giant impacts in the world by killing someone?
Well, I think that usually people like this, there are three characteristics, and sometimes there's an overlapping of the three, and sometimes they just have one. The obvious one is that some of these people are nutters, assassins, and violent people, some politically violent people.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are people who hold extremist views, and I think most of them are people that hold extremist views. And then the third characteristic is the one that I emphasized, which is they tend to be people who are overeducated and undervalued in society. And I think that fits for Lee Harvey Oswald. I think that fits for this Cole Allen. I think it fits for that nutter in Florida. It certainly fits for that little weirdo in Butler, Pennsylvania. People that are I mean, this guy, Cole Allen, he was very bright. I mean, there's no getting around that. He went to Caltech. That's not an easy school to get into. He studied mechanical engineering there, not basket weaving, mechanical engineering. He won an award for creating or he got accolades for creating this wheelchair, a wheelchair brake.
Right.
He won a robotics competition there. So at Caltech, it's not like he won a robotics competition at Fitchburg State. He won a robotics competition at Caltech. And yet you look at what he's doing for work. He's essentially teaching part-time. He's a tutor part-time in one of those SAT prep places that you see in strip malls.
Yes.
That's what he did for work as a 31-year-old man. He was living with his parents. And so he has this education that most of us would just, be envious of. But his placement in the world, I mean, I doubt he has a girlfriend. He's living with his parents, and he's working part-time in one of these SAT prep places. There's a mismatch there. And I think that's something that stands out with a lot of these assassins, is that they tend to have a very high opinion of themselves. They tend to be overeducated, but they tend to be undervalued by society.
There's two groups of people that are being undervalued by society. Charles Murray talks about it in, I think it's Falling Behind, or the name of one of his books. And he looked at young men, 18 to 25, no college, a little bit of high school, whatever it was, dropping out, not being a good match for somebody, women passing them over because they can't be a good provider. And Murray looked at that group of people. But you're right, the second group are people that society has said, well, you've got the degree, you've gone to some fancy place, and you've got a master's degree. The world is your oyster. But then if there's something also sort of missing in their personality, they're unable to open that oyster, and then they become, I guess, broken away from the main flow of society.
Yeah, one of his neighbors said that he thought he might have been on the autistic spectrum. When I watched him, there's an interview going around of him being interviewed back in 2017 for an LA station.
Yeah.
He didn't seem to be off socially all that much. He seemed to be like a garden variety nerd. He didn't strike me as someone that should be in a special class or something like that. He seemed to be just a little bit nerdy. Now, that's a 30-second clip that's on the internet, so what am I going to do, assess that? I don't know. But my guess is that he probably has something wrong mentally, or maybe he's on the spectrum or something like that. A lot of these guys do. But the two things that I'm quite sure about is what we just discussed at length, that he was someone who was overeducated and not really valued much in society. But the second thing is that he was a political extremist, and there's more and more that's coming out about that today. I mean, yesterday we knew he had given this $25 donation to Kamala Harris. That just told us where he stood politically. But this manifesto, the thing that jumps out at me about that is that it's very consistent with the more mainstream rhetoric coming out of the left. And when I say mainstream, people from Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, it's coming from all of them, which is this kind of existential hyperbole that Trump is a dictator, that we're going to lose our democracy if we lose this election, that there's an existential crisis, and that America is in an existential crisis. When you read that manifesto,
yes,
and he talks about women being raped in these immigration centers and all sorts of catastrophic stuff, you can tell that he's bought into this rhetoric. He's one of these people that may be intelligent, but he's a bit soft. He's bought into this rhetoric. And I think he viewed himself as some kind of a world saver going in there. But you have to think about it. I mean, going in as an assassin with a shotgun, a handgun, and a bunch of knives, I don't know what century he thought he was going to assassinate someone in, because that's not going to do the job now. At least those two other nutters, the guy in Butler and the guy in Florida, they at least had a bit of a plan. I think this guy was more rash and was more destined to fail at what he did.
Is society served, Dan, by somebody completing your thought and saying he's being radicalized by statements made on the left? Is society served when you point towards the left and say, stop talking like that, stop using those words, and you won't be motivating people?
I don't know, because there are some people that I think were not as adversely affected by all this Saturday night as maybe we were, or your listeners were. I think there's a minority of people that approve of political violence. And there have been a number of surveys recently that have said as much. There was one from earlier this year that showed that the group that endorsed political violence the most was liberal women, and the group that was most averse to political violence was conservative men. And if you look at the response to Luigi Mangione, or to a number of other of these extremists that have done nutty things, the guy out in that killed Charlie Kirk as well, they seem to get more sympathy from these young women who act kind of as cheerleaders to evil. These are not the people that are going to perpetrate these acts. They're not the people that are going to be affected by these acts, but they are the people that cheer them on the most. And so I don't want to make it into a bigger deal than it is. I don't think it's a majority of people in the Democratic Party that are saying, oh, wow, this is a great thing. But it's enough that it's alarming. And it's certainly more than it was 10, 20, 15, 30 years ago.
I think that let's take the idea of a young woman that's upset about all this sort of stuff and is okay. I saw 58% of Democrats when surveyed say they would be okay if the president of the United States were assassinated, that the world would be better and America would be better if that were the case. Yeah, women tend to be more positive in the assassination category. Maybe it's because sort of a mama bear thing comes out. People are being hurt. People are being abused. Legal immigrants or immigrants are being deported and families are being torn apart. So therefore, I'm going to protect them. And I'm going to rush in there and say, well, let's go get the guy that's causing all these problems. So therefore, finish off Trump. That might be the thinking behind these people that sit there on Twitter and type these things out. Dan, we talked about at the very beginning of the show. You know how long I took to read about the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting on Saturday?
How long?
About a minute, and I went back to my cheeseburger, and the cheeseburger really wasn't that good. But I just was like, oh. And then I did a Google search with Joe, number of people that looked when the Butler assassination attempt, the number of people that went on Google and searched after the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Now, of course, it was Saturday night, East Coast time, but it had dropped by 20% or more. So Americans are like, move on.
So you're suggesting we've become numb to it?
Yes. Yep. I don't think people will be shocked. I don't think people will be shocked if one of these nut jobs actually gets a shot at the president and assassinates him.
Unfortunately, I think a lot of people, I myself included, I think you're correct. I hope they do something to stop this. I went to, this is sad to me because we're at the 250th anniversary of the United States. I went to a whole conference devoted to celebrating the 200th anniversary of America. And one of the last speakers was this guy from Duke University named Mike Munger. And he said, there are two things that you need to keep a republic from, sort of devolving into a dictatorship or something worse. And that is humility and tolerance. And I would say to you that this fella, Cole Allen, he lacked both. That he thought he was not someone that was going to brook disagreement, that was going to say, let's agree to disagree. There are people now in the United States who think if you politically disagree with them, it means you're evil. It means you're morally compromised. And the humility part of it, these are not people that look in the mirror at any point in their lives and say, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? And I think that is that to me, that's a very sad state of affairs, that we lack this humility and tolerance that are the essential ingredients of a free society.
Where did it go, Dan? Where did humility go?
Well, I think that over the course of, I don't know how long it's been, but certainly in my lifetime, there are a lot of people that have been educated into believing these things. And I mean, I went to a very left-wing school, UMass Amherst. I'm sure a lot of your listeners probably went to University of Washington or Evergreen State. I remember years ago, Evergreen State had Mumia Abu Jamal, a convicted murderer, a guy who killed a cop, as the commencement speaker. So this is something that's been going on for years. And of course, this school in Utah was going to have some critic of Charlie Kirk give the commencement address before the plug was pulled on that. In other words, these are people that are very narcissistic. They have a very tin ear. And if they were going to have someone that was a cheerleading on the whole Charlie Kirk thing speak at the very school that he was assassinated at, it doesn't give you a lot of hope for the prospects of an epiphany from these people. If they didn't figure it out after Butler, that all of this insane rhetoric saying that there's going to be concentration camps in America, or that Trump was a Nazi or the new Hitler or something like that, all crazy rhetoric, that they didn't figure it out after Butler, that stuff has an effect on soft-minded people. I don't think they're going to figure it out now. And I'm not sure that they care.
All right. Not that we're, of course, not wishing this death upon anybody, but at the top of the hour, I made a prediction that there will be another attempt on his life in 6 months, within the 6 months.
Well, I hope not. I mean,
I hope Dan Flynn. I hope so. I hope not as well. Obviously, no one ever elected positions that be assassinated by somebody. But I'm just saying that creates it in the mind of the next lunatic. Well, this is unfinished business. And the fact that they moved on so quickly. Society is now talking about a whole bunch of other stuff. Oh, now we're going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel's smear against the First Lady. But right? But it opens the door.
Well, I think if you look at history, if you look at American history, we've had 4 presidents assassinated. 3, the video that you mentioned at the top of the hour, 3 of those 4 were essentially communists. One was a guy, Charles Guiteau, who was a Bible communist who actually lived in a community where they shared wives, they shared pocket watches.
Is that Garfield's? Is that Garfield's?
That's Garfield's assassin. There was McKinley's assassin was a follower of Emma Goldberg. Emma Goldman, he was basically an anarcho-communist. And of course, Lee Harvey Oswald went over to the Soviet Union, lived over there, and was kind of a communist. He was in touch with a lot of leaders of the American Communist Party, people like Elizabeth Gurley Flynn and others. And so there is a pattern of political extremists. And when I looked online today, this fellow, Allen, belongs to some group called the Wide Awakes. He was involved in the Wide Awakes. And it just had leftists have this ability to use so many words without saying anything. All this stuff about collaborative conversations and radical listening, these were their principles. But, if you sifted through that, it was just this really left-wing group, and he was involved with that. And now they say that they're nonviolent, and I take them at their word. But there are a lot of these people out there that are involved that really don't have a sense of history and how the 20th century went. And they are pushing socialism and other sort of ideologies that really just led to death and destruction in so many countries around the world. Thankfully not here. Yeah. But here we are all these years after the end of the Berlin Wall. If you were to tell me that, Eastern Europe would be capitalist, but in the United States there would be a huge number of young people that wanted to revive socialism, I would have said you were crazy in 1989. But this guy and many others believe in those radical ideas. And like I said earlier, they don't have the belief in those radical ideas usually comes with lacking humility and lacking tolerance for the beliefs of others.
And so the 2 things that a republic needs to continue is humility and tolerance. And tolerance. Daniel Flynn, thank you for your time. I'm sorry about the Boston accent. We find it endearing. I'm sorry. It is it's a cross you need to bear.
Can I point out one other thing?
Yes.
Daniel Flynn once wrote to me after one of these interviews how impressed he was with the top of the hour soundbite that Andrew had carefully curated for his appearance. And he thought it was the greatest thing. He sent me a text. He sent an email, a follow-up. Right? Yeah. John just eliminated that whole creative endeavor. So sorry about that, Dan.
Okay, really? We're going to air it? And Dan needs to hear this. We're not airing our dirty laundry. Dan does not want to see your dirty laundry.
It's what he's not hearing.
Okay, next time he's on. By the way, right-wing wilderness. Here's what I love about Dan Flynn, and you will as well. His perspective has humility. It has tolerance. It brings up perspective of history and brings it forward and then allows you as an individual to examine it. And Daniel Flynn would talk to anybody about any topic, not in an angry way, but in a way of, I want to learn from you. What do you got? What can you help me with? To always expand the mind and curiosity with humanity. Thank you, Daniel Flynn. I look forward to tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. when I get my American Spectator newsletter from a guy named Daniel Flynn who hates his accent.
Outstanding. Thank you so much.
All right, Dan Flynn. See you later. All right, here comes Nate. Check your traffic, Nate.
Thanks, John. The KIRO Newsradio app has the update. Federal Way, we're dealing with our long-term collision now. South 5 with South 312th. It's blocking your right lane. You're in a thick backup starting near South 188 there in South Center. So Seattle to Federal Way is up to 50 minutes. In Tacoma, southbound 509 at Alexander, still dealing with a collision blocking the lane. Looks like they might be clearing it because that backup is starting to thin out. I don't have a camera down there to confirm exactly what is happening. In Parkland, eastbound 512 at State Route 7, 2 right lanes are blocked by a disabled vehicle. Looks like this might have been an earlier car fire because I do have a camera there, and I see smoke billowing out of the hood. You're backed up to I-5. Westbound 512 is heavy from South Hill Curve over to Canyon Road. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is going to take you just 35 minutes. It's heavy south of State Route 18 into Puyallup. North 5 in Seattle, typical scattered backups on the West Seattle Bridge of the Ship Canal. Little clearing there in the heart of downtown. 35 minutes to get through all this. South 5 is jam-packed from Northeast 50th down to I-90, Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes. Text app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
You know how some of the parts of your house just don't seem to work? Like, why is the closet jammed? And why do you avoid the garage? And the pantry, you never open, you can't find anything in there. Some things just don't seem to function correctly. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how you use the space in your house. Closets by Design comes in, and they took a look at the garage, the pantry, the laundry room, the home office, the wall beds, the entertainment centers, the mud room, the whole house. They look at it, they go, you know what? You could actually have some room here and here and here. You could store everything and have everything organized. They come in and they customize your space, your stuff, your life. Nothing is just put off onto a shelf. There's nothing generic about it. This is customized for your house, and you'll be surprised at the amount of space that's available that you didn't even realize. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, look, I've gotten rid of all the stress of having to find something that was always been lost for all that time. You open the pantry, you can see everything. You go into the garage and it's all right there, or it's behind beautiful cabinets, customized for you without the customized price. 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months, 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Closets by Design, 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
With summer right around the
corner, Valentine Roofing's schedule is filling up fast. Jake Skorheim here. I want to give you 3 reasons why you should pick up the phone and call Valentine today. Number 1, there's still time to beat the summer rush and get your roof started in as little as 3 weeks. Number 2, when the nice weather hits, you'll be enjoying your backyard instead of worrying about your roof. And 3, with the increased cost of crude oil, material prices going up, shipping prices going up, lock in your price now before the market absorbs all those price increases. Call 206 Roofing today, and I guarantee there'll be no surprises, just a clear estimate you can trust. And once you choose Valentine Roofing, here's what you can expect. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. That's the Valentine experience and the reason that they were awarded the 2025 Gold for Best Roofing Company by the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. Call 206 Roofing today. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Missing teeth or tired of dentures? South Seattle Smiles offers permanent dental implants to restore your smile. Ask about their discount cash pricing and get a free consultation. Call South Seattle Smiles or visit southseattlesmiles.com.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's cars with a K.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. A teacher from California is now charged with attempting to assassinate the president. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro says the suspect also faces 2 federal gun charges.
There will be additional charges as this investigation continues to unfold.
Investigators say 31-year-old Cole Thomas Anderson was armed when he tried to storm the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday. CBS's Matt Gutman has new details on the investigation.
We now know that suspect allegedly planned this attack weeks in advance and that he himself had written that he was surprised at the light security footprint at this hotel. We also spoke to a witness who saw him race past security, and she noticed that the doors to the ballroom at the time were open, so she ran downstairs herself to close them.
And that suspect, Allen, did not enter a plea today. He faces life in prison if convicted. The attempted kidnapping of an 8-year-old girl in Seattle has a man behind bars today. KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglavin reports.
Seattle police say this happened around 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. Someone called to report a man trying to take a young girl while she played in a front yard with her friends. The suspect is accused of grabbing her arm and trying to pull her behind the neighbor's home while holding a knife in his other hand. The girl screamed. The suspect ran away. Police identified the suspect using surveillance video, and they arrested a 22-year-old man yesterday afternoon.
A homeowner in Kent fended off multiple armed home invaders this morning, opening fire as they broke in. Assistant Police Chief Jared Kastner says this happened just before 3 this morning. It involves several armed suspects.
A resident had heard a big bang and stated that there were subjects inside the home, and the husband was going downstairs and has a gun.
Chief Kastner says the homeowner shot one intruder multiple times. He was taken to Harborview. The other suspects fled before police arrived. A disaster assistance center opens tomorrow in King County to help people who've been affected by December storms and flooding. Center will assist residents with FEMA applications and Small Business Administration disaster loans. This is located at the King County Elections Office on Southwest Grady Way in Renton. The deadline to apply for FEMA assistance is coming up on June 10th. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 4:34. Here's Nate Connors.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. Seattle Sports has the update. Let's update you with our collision of Federal Way, South 5 and South 312th. We're about an hour into this now. This crash blocks your right lane. We've got a thick backup that starts near South 200th there in South Center. Seattle to Federal Way is taking you 50 minutes. That's double the norm. In Parkland, we've got this disabled vehicle. I'm pretty sure it was an earlier car fire. Eastbound 512 at State Route 7. It's on the shoulder, but fire crews on scene are blocking your two right lanes. That leaves one lane open, so you're backed up bumper to I-5. Westbound 512 is slow through the South Hill curve over to Canyon Road. As far as I can tell, this is just volume. Tacoma to Olympia looking pretty good at 40 minutes. Really, the only significant backup is this 2-mile backup near the JBLM main gate. Here in Seattle, North 5, no surprise. We have scattered backups before the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge, and it's about 35 minutes to get through this. South 5 jams up in Northeast 50th to I-90. 35 minutes from Linwood to Seattle, and Bellevue to Renton plan on a half hour. You're bumper to bumper from mid-Bellevue through Factoria. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Mostly cloudy out there tonight. Some more clouds tomorrow, and then sunshine and warmer weather returns by Wednesday. Right now, 57 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Spring showers? Yeah, right. More like spring sprinkles, downpours, hailstorms, cold snaps, flooding, and sometimes even a little sun. Spring in Western Washington changes day to day, even hour to hour. That's why you need experts who have decades of experience and the right tools to keep you weather ready. Watch KIRO 7 pinpoint weather forecasts in every newscast and on the KIRO 7 apps for your phone or TV.
Well said, well read. The slight Hawaiian accent, I noticed. Really assimilate well to the islands.
That's called pidgin.
Thank you,
P-I-D-G-I-N.
Can you give me an example of that?
Come on, Nate.
Hey, brother, you want to go bigger for a photo mall? That means you want to go down to the mall.
All right. Anything else?
Hey, you want to go mook.
Okay, now you're making it up.
No, that means you want to go to the beach and have a barbecue.
You should be better at this. Are you from Hawaii in some weird way?
Yeah, I was born there. That's not weird.
But you also claim Alaska.
Well, I grew up there. That's not weird.
Okay, let me hear you at somebody in Hawaii, a Hawaiian accent or a Hawaiian dialect, and then have somebody from Alaska
okay.
answer. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, how's it, brother? You good up there?
Uh-huh. And
then the Alaska person will say, everything up here, this is good.
Okay. Wow. Thank you for that.
Inuit or something?
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
In other news, Bucky's Auto Service Centers. 16 locations, been around for 51 years. Aaron's in deep distress, either about Bucky's or the Mariners. Can't quite figure it is. It's Bucky's Auto Service Centers. Take your car there, man. I like this. We're trying to get Mark Mullet on the phone because, one, I endorsed him. That's why he didn't win running for governor. Mark Mullet, of the mayor of Issaquah. Guy that, I know, he's got 3 or 4 kids, and I think he owns Zeke's Pizza, or used to there in Issaquah. He doesn't get get to the primary. He would have been the best choice, I believe. Just a guy that just simply looks at liabilities, assets, credits, debits, and the numbers don't make sense. He's like, this doesn't make sense. We're not going to do this. Let's find a better way. That's always been the way Mark Mullet has been working on this stuff. So when the city of Issaquah comes along and says, hey, we want to build a new city hall, and they start to look at the numbers like, okay, let's see, how many square feet? Okay, we want 35,000 square feet. It's going to take anywhere between 3.4 years and 5 years in order to build. How much is it going to cost the people of Issaquah? Well, anywhere between $44 and $57 million.
What was wrong with the old one?
Because there's nothing politicians like more than putting on the gold or silver hard hat and then having the stupid gold shovels that match. And then they get the photo of all of them, putting their foot on the shovel.
It becomes their legacy.
Flipping over the dirt, yeah. So Mullet looked at it, and I'm sure some other people on the council looked at it and said, well, is there a better option? So then they find out that a $12 million purchase They can go through that so they can get a building that's already there. And as Mullet says, the mayor, one of my top priorities is keeping Issaquah safe. This rare and exciting opportunity to relocate City Hall and remodel the current building by police use ensures us that we can support the essential law enforcement staff for decades to come. So they just have been able to compromise and find a better place that's not going to cost them $57 million. Of course, they say $57 million. By the time the thing is finished, who knows what it would be. So good for him. We always used to, at Sammamish, we always looked at Issaquah, and we looked at them, and we had 34 people on staff working for the city of Sammamish, and you went over there to Issaquah, they had, you look in the blue pages of the yellow pages, or blue pages of the phone book, which nobody has anymore. They would have like 130-some people. Ooh. And we're like, we're similar size. This is before we ended up getting Kalahani. And we said, why do they have so many people on staff and we didn't have anybody full-time? They used to, when the city of Sammamish was set up, it was set up as a contract city. So every year we'd put contract out to who wants to cut the grass. Oh, these guys do, or these guys do, or these guys do. They were not on staff. Who wants to do this work? Oh, we would contract it out.
Police, everything.
Yeah. What are you going to charge us? Trying to keep the numbers down. But you looked at Issaquah, they were like, a whole bunch of people over there, a bunch of people on staff. It was a completely different setup city.
They had salmon days.
They still do have salmon days. So good for Mark Mullet. And anybody that voted for Mark when he's running for governor, sorry he didn't get in there. Can you imagine what the state would be like now? Do you think we would have the millionaires tax? Do you think we would have had somebody standing there telling the Democrats, and Mark is a Democrat, telling them, look, we got enough revenue. We need to not keep going back and asking for more and more money. It's a shame. But you think if somebody like that had been elected to the state of Washington, where would we be? And certainly not going to a Supreme Court with questionable individuals running that may or may not want to overturn the 1933 ruling.
100% chance the Sonics would be back already.
Okay. Now, really? Now you're just making stuff up. You're like Nate
I
doing
believe it.
fake Hawaiian. I got to give G and Ursula credit. They got Senator Peterson on and had a nice interview with him. He was a politician and slipped around some of the questions that I thought were quite straightforward. But again, if you're trying to defend something that seems to be unconstitutional, you got to take a lot of turns. You have to. It's like outrunning the cops. You have to turn your headlights off and start just driving up and down random roads and then shut the car off in somebody's driveway and hope the cops go flying by because they got you goods. They know your license plate number. They know where you are. They're eventually going to get you. But in this case, in the interview, we'll play some cuts from it coming up in a little bit. You can see when Ursula asks a question, and he's like, I don't recall that. And then G asks a question, and he comes back with, well, you got to get more information on it. I can see where people are confused by it. The Democrats are going to do everything they can to get it before the Washington State Supreme Court that will look at the ruling of 1933 and say, yes, that's what it was then, but we are going to overturn that because ... And we wonder what the because is. So if you missed it, I highly recommend you watch it or listen to it or grab some of the stuff from that in just a little bit. Let's check Nate. Nate?
Yes, I'll do yes. Okay.
Just American English standard?
Yes, sir.
All right, here, go.
Don't want to offend any more people. KIRO Newsradio App has our update. We still got this collision on Federal Way, South 5 and South 312th is blocking that right lane. And you've got a thick backup starts near South 200, Seattle to Federal Way. Give yourself 50 minutes. In Parkland, we just cleared our blocking issue eastbound 512 at State Route 7. We had two right lanes blocked at the scene of a car fire. The car is on the right shoulder. It's still there, but it's no longer a blocking issue. But right now, we've got a backup still coming off I-5 to the scene. Tacoma to Olympia, just 40 minutes. Your only backup is about a 2 to 3 mile backup at the JBLM main gate. North 5 in Seattle is really our biggest backup this afternoon. Scattered backups from the West Seattle Bridge to just past I-90. Then you'll clear out, and then another backup starting near 520 across the Ship Canal Bridge. Altogether, it's 35 minutes to get through this. South 5 is really thick in Northeast 50th to I-90. 35 minutes from Linwood into downtown Seattle. Bellevue to Renton still hovering at a half hour, and it's thick from mid-Bellevue through Factoria, and then from there, you'll start to thin out. Text the app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Tick, tick, tick. The clock is ticking, and there's a calamity of sorts about to happen in your house if your heating and cooling system is 12 years or older. And it can even happen a little before that. Because once it goes out, then you're in a panic, especially if it's summertime or even winter. Let's talk summer. So it's 100 degrees out and you don't have AC. And then you call somebody to say, can you come out? And they're like, oh, we've had a lot of people. We can get there in about 5 or 6 days. That's 5 or 6 days of intense discomfort for you. You can right now take advantage of what Home Comfort Alliance is offering you. They've got a thing called an online price estimator. You can do it right there on your phone. It'll take you about 60 seconds, gives you a clear, honest information as to what is the best decision to make when it comes to what's happening in your house and comfort. And right now, they've got a deal. With Lennox Cooling System, Home Comfort Alliance will give you a new heating system, and you get a cooling system for free. Plus, they're going to handle all the utility rebates, available discounts, everything that you need to know that you can save on Lennox. The quote comes to you from HomeComfortAlliance.com. That's HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, Tila has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call Tila Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker, NMLS 2472046. Looking for lumber with a story? Then you've got to check out the new Earthwise Salvage Lumber Warehouse in Soto. Be the first to get your hands on reclaimed lumber with original character and local history. Their warehouse is packed with new inventory now. But when this wood is gone, it's gone. So act fast. Come visit the Salvage Lumber Warehouse for the grand opening on May 2nd from 11 to 3 in Soto. And remember, this lumber is harvested from structures, not forests. Find them at ewsalvage.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
My name is Skip, and Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland helped me with my small business administration loan. With her help, I was able to keep my small business open, and she can help you too. Please contact Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland's office at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov for help. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
With Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, maintenance is the key to a long-lasting roof. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? Call us today. Our first-time customers can save $99. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
All right, it says that Taylor Swift is the first celebrity, I can't imagine this, but to trademark her likeness to prevent AI companies from generating profit off of her and her artificial voice or likeness, and it comes from that. So here is Taylor.
The superstar singer's company files 3 trademark applications. In the filings viewed by E! News, 2 of the requests are sound trademarks, which would cover Taylor saying, "Hey, it's Taylor Swift," and "Hey, it's Taylor." The third seeks to trademark a shot of Taylor on stage during her Eras tour. The singer's move comes as artists are increasingly scrambling to try and figure out how to protect their name, image, and likeness in the age of artificial intelligence. Now, recently, lawyers for Matthew McConaughey opened up to Variety about the actor's move to trademark himself, an action his attorneys say is meant to stop AI apps from simulating the actor's voice or likeness without his permission. Taylor's likeness was even used in a 2024 political endorsement shared by President Donald Trump. Per Variety, Taylor later shared her concerns over the use of AI in an Instagram message ahead of the 2024 presidential election.
Okay, got it. So they're just protecting themselves from AI. The idea of trademarking something, there is the guy that we're never allowed to say it. If you say it, they say instantaneously the guy will sue. You know,
Michael Buffer?
Yes. Is that his name?
Yes.
That's it.
Get.
Nope. Oh, nope.
Wait, if none of us, I mean, come on.
I'm not doing it.
I think that's like kind of an urban myth and legend.
Oh, go ahead and say it.
I think we could say it.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It'd be nice to know you.
Let me look.
Yeah.
Let me look at Snopes.
Right, Andrew? We are told this every single year. Don't ever say, let's get
that phrase.
That phrase, because if you say it, apparently the guy has got lawyers or somebody's out there and they hear it all the time and they'll come right after you. But Joe doesn't care.
They're supposedly combing for the phrase being used, especially around certain sports events as well.
Right. He has trademarked that.
Right.
Yes.
The same thing with the naked cowboy. If you've ever been in New York City in Times Square, the naked cowboy walking around in cowboy boots, got a cowboy hat on, and his underwear, whitey tighties. He sued Mars, M&M's, peanut, and chocolate for $4 million. He said, this is not fair because I'm not about fat stuff. He says that's type 2 diabetes and childhood obesity is epidemic, and I'm the opposite of that. I don't endorse the product. But when he looked up behind him on the big screen, there were the chocolate and the peanut dressed with cowboy hats on and cowboy boots and a guitar. And he's like, wait a minute, I'm not doing that. You can't use my image. And he ended up calling a young lawyer in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania, whose last name is Curley, and hired my brother for some reason, picked him out of nowhere, and Chuck won the case. And he got $4 million. And And now I know that because I said, Chuck, how much money did he make? He goes, I'm not telling you. Well, I just found it. So screw you, Chuck.
$400,000.
Now you know.
What?
The rest of the
It's
story.
$400,000.
That's how much your brother made.
Well, I don't know that.
They get more than 10%.
Do they?
What are you saying?
Well, it's just a guess. I'm just guessing.
That's agent money. Lawyer money's higher.
Oh, is it?
By the way,
so what do you think?
It's really, who cares? I'll have to, well, that's a lot of money. Yeah, go ahead. What?
As of 2010, Buffer's trademark phrase had earned more than $400 million in licensed use.
Yes.
And this article about a local radio station getting sued and losing $175,000 to him, they won't even type the phrase.
And you wanted to yell it out.
Wait,
stop.
A word that rhymed with that word. Is that still too close?
No, I don't. Short timer.
No.
All right, here comes Nate checking traffic for the last time.
Global Credit Union has our update. Hey, we just cleared that long-term crash in Federal Way, South 5 at 312, but it left you with a bumper-to-bumper grind from South 200th. Seattle to Federal Way right now is at 55 minutes. This will only improve, though. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, just 35. Bellevue to Renton, plan on a half hour. You're packed from mid-Bellevue to Northeast 44th near the VMAC before things even start to thin out. North 5 in Seattle, scattered backups before the West Seattle Bridge of the Ship Canal. South 5 heavy now from Lake City Way to I-90. Going north, Seattle to Everett, just 35 minutes. Looking great. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes. It's slow from 520 to 527. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Ever notice how everyone has their own idea of clean?
Yeah, your clean desk still has 3 coffee cups.
Yeah, but clean energy is simple. It means no carbon emissions.
And that's what nuclear energy delivers, while providing steady, reliable electricity.
Those big white clouds above a nuclear power plant? Just water vapor, like warm breath on a cold day.
Nuclear energy provides 10% of Washington's electricity, all without adding carbon to the air.
Learn more at energy-northwest.com.
Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth. If you're 5 to 10 years from retirement, you do not have the time to deal with a market downturn. With Mark Stimson and Casey Elkins.
It's important that you know what the rules are, because if you don't, you can make some tremendous decisions that could adversely affect you, and you may not be able to go back and fix it.
Tune in to Elevate Your Wealth, Saturdays at 11 a.m., right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Yep, it's raining out there. Integrity Roofing and Construction is your trusted local roofing team. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected from the northwest rains. Visit integrityrc.com to schedule a roof assessment or video inspection today. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team can help with a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling.
I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Missing teeth or tired of dentures? South Seattle Smiles offers permanent dental implants to restore your smile. Ask about their discount cash pricing and get a free consultation. Call South Seattle Smiles or visit southseattlesmiles.com.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The man accused in Saturday's shooting at the White House Correspondents Association dinner has been arraigned on charges of trying to assassinate President Trump and 2 firearms crimes. Cole Allen of Torrance, California, faces up to life in prison if convicted of the attempted assassination charge. CBS's Matt Gutman also reports.
We now know that that suspect allegedly planned this attack weeks in advance and that he himself had written that he was surprised at the light security footprint at this hotel. We also spoke to a witness who saw him race past security, and she noticed that the doors to the ballroom at the time were open, so she ran downstairs herself to close them.
The internet blew up with conspiracy talk after the attack. 60 Minutes contributor Nora O'Donnell spoke with President Trump about those theories, saying afterwards,
"We did learn a lot from our interview about what happened during that security scare, but there were so many questions that rumors and conspiracy theories flooded the internet. One of the most prominent was that the attack was staged, suggesting a plot to distract from his declining poll numbers or the war in Iran. Now, there's no evidence of that, but the term staged was shared hundreds of thousands of times on X.
The National Trust for Historic Preservation says it will continue its lawsuit aimed at stopping construction of a new ballroom at the White House, a project which the president touted after Saturday's night's shooting.
The case is now before the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. A lower court had halted construction, but that order is temporarily on hold, allowing work to continue until at least early June. The Justice Department had urged the trust to drop the case, but the group says it will not back down, arguing the project must follow federal law and requires approval from Congress. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
The White House says it will not negotiate through the press in response to questions about Iran's conditional proposal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz if nuclear talks get pushed back. CBS News national security analyst Aaron McClain.
It continues to be a game of economic chicken. We have our blockade, the United States' blockade of Iranian ports. We have the Iranian closure of the Strait of Hormuz. There has been some, movement probably overstates it, but reports over the course of the last 24 hours or so that the Iranians have an offer that if we're willing to lift our blockade, the Iranians will then engage in discussions about opening the Strait of Hormuz.
Nedra Talley Ross, the last surviving member of the 1960s pop band The Ronettes, has died. Her daughter says on social media that Talley was 80, died yesterday at home, and she is survived by 4 children. This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Y'all came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
Coming up, a major grocery chain accused of a buy one, get one grift. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, this one brought to us by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. For the most part, we have light volumes out there. Federal Way, we cleared a long-term crash, South 5 and South 312 about 15 minutes ago, but it was there for over an hour. So we have scattered backups starting in South Center to the scene. The further south you go, the heavier this backup gets. Right now, Seattle to Federal Way is a 50-minute commute. Bellevue to Renton, give yourself a half hour. It is jam-packed from mid-Bellevue to about Northeast 44th near the VMAC, and then things start to thin out for you. But you're not in the clear till you get into those Renton S-curves. North 5 in Seattle, pretty solid from the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. About 35 minutes to get through this. South 5, we're heavy from Lake City Way to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes. Seattle to Everett, 35 minutes, and it's pretty clear along most of the stretch. Little crowding in Shoreline and at that Linwood interchange. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes. You're slow between 520 and 527. And we've got a new crash down at JBLM South 5 just before the main gate. It's blocking your center lane. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors plus $1,000 off complete home installs through April 30th. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Safeway, Albertsons, and Hagen are all accused of misleading shoppers through so-called buy one, get one free promotions. KIRO Radio's Luke Ducey reports the Washington Attorney General is suing.
Attorney General Brown claims in one case a Gig Harbor Albertsons hiked up the price of olive oil from $6.99 to $10.99 a week before a buy one, get one free deal. When the deal ended, Brown says the price went back down 57%. The lawsuit says the same is true for staples like bread, cereal, and fresh produce over the last 5 years.
Consumers walk into these stores, think that they're getting a bargain, but in reality, they're just paying an inflated price for that first item.
Brown claims the stores overcharged shoppers on more than 3 million transactions, bringing in $20 million. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Man who targeted women at random across the Seattle area now faces up to life in prison. KIRO News Radio's Manifesto reports the man was sentenced last week for 5 violent felonies, including robbery, assault, kidnapping, and rape.
The King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office says the crime started in March of 2023 when he stole a woman's purse and stabbed her husband 3 times. In October, he pulled a gun on a woman walking her dog in Normandy Park, ordering her into his car. And a month later, he pulled a gun on another woman unloading groceries from her trunk. Senior Deputy Prosecutor Lucy Pippin.
He'll serve a minimum range of agreed time, and then in order to get out, he'll need to go in front of the Indeterminate Sentence Review Board, and he can essentially be sentenced up to life.
That agreed time is 19 years. Manda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
Man who triggered a shutdown of I-90 on Mercer Island back in 2024 has been sentenced to 18 months. Police say 42-year-old Sokfana Siong was holding a tennis ball bomb as officers closed in.
He threw out an explosive device. He's trying to light it.
Authorities say Siong was high on fentanyl at the time. He was trying to get away from police in a stolen car. And brace yourselves for a double-digit increase in your sewer bill. King County's considering a 12.75% rate hike to help pay for billions in system upgrades over the next 10 years. Seattle Times reports, if approved, the increase would add an extra $8 a month for the average ratepayer. Your forecast now, looking at cloudy skies tonight and again for tomorrow, and then sunshine and warmer weather for the rest of the week. Right now, 58 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Got it. Here we go. John Curley Show and you. Coming along for the ride and doing some of the driving for us is Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. You can always send in your thoughts, your questions, your comments, your concerns. We learn and grow. Aaron especially, from all your criticisms. There we go. Diving in the news! 1-888-973-5476. All right, from Future 42, the ongoing battle. This is like Rocky, right? This is like Rocky 7 or training for a bowel movement or something. Steve Gordon joining us. Boy, you must love the fact that this story just dominates the news every single day as Washington considers an income tax?
Yeah, well, it's kind of crazy. When we look at our social media numbers with Future 42, I think we've had like 15 million views in the last 90 days or something like that, on all of our various content. So people seem to be interested in this one, John.
And the other thing about it, Steve, is there are people that are on the inside. That's people that you would think are getting paid by the people that want income tax in the state of Washington. And they're leaking some stuff out to Future 42 and to other sources. Like this is a leaked Zoom meeting. Invest in Washington Now revealed some interesting sound bites that paint the millionaire tax as being just the next step towards Washington State's income tax. So you got to kind of read between the lines on this thing. You've heard it, right, Steve? You've listened to it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So State Representative April Berg, and again, because everybody's afraid that this is going to be, it starts in the millionaires, but it starts to get more people. So these are some of the little cuts from this thing that you like. Here we go with Senator Representative April Berg.
We are now going to have more people paying their fair share at the amount they should, right? So you won't have the highest earning Washingtonians paying less than the lowest earning Washingtonians. Now, can I say it makes it perfect? No, but this is the next incremental step in tax justice. If you remember, we went from cap gains, now we're at income tax. So we're getting there.
All right. Are we reading between the lines?
That was pretty clear. He said it out loud. It's an income tax. Why else would you hire 300 tax collectors at the Department of Revenue for the supposedly small number this is going to get? I mean, it's an income tax.
Come on, Gordon from Future 42. You're reading into it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of nuance in that statement, as you heard.
Why not just write it? Here we go.
Any other questions? There's one in here. They say that the income will slide down to other lower taxpayers. Do you think that will happen? How do we fight that idea?
Okay, how do we fight that idea? How do we not have it happen? How do we fight the idea of it happening?
How did you ever draw any conclusions from those really obfuscated phrasings that she uses?
But I like the idea. No, how do we put people's minds at rest that that's not going to happen? No, how do we fight the idea, right? Yeah. How do we counter that? Here we go.
So one of the things we were mindful of in the legislature was not to tie the hands of future legislators in terms of saying what will and won't happen. I have spoken from my own personal view. Given the questions, the fight, the vitriol around this particular tax, I don't see it going less than $1 million for quite some time.
Oh, yeah. Quite some time.
Yeah, there was an initiative that went through the legislature 2 years ago that outlawed income taxes, and I was down there for testimony. They said, "Hey, we're not even talking about an income tax. We don't have to worry about that." And then Jamie Peterson comes out and starts talking about the pie crust promises. That was an easily made promise and easily broken. It's the same thing. It's, when we want to change it, we'll change it, and you'll have to deal with it. And we're coming after you.
And then I'll get one more cut in here. I like this is, let's see, we saw the estate. Oh, this is the the estate tax.
We really, we saw with the estate tax, we did roll that back because last year's legislation put us at an outlier where we were going to see capital.
What are you laughing at, Steve Gordon?
Well, we are already the highest, so we doubled it. We decided being double the highest was probably a little much, so you can have back part of that. I mean, it just shows this. It's not a serious approach to tax code. These are all individual pieces of it. It just creates complete financial instability for anybody trying to run a business or plan for the future.
Yeah. Well, okay. She's going to finish. You can stop laughing at her.
Flight as a result. So unfortunately, tax cut at an outlier where we were going to see capital flight as a result. So unfortunately, tax policy has to be nuanced. And sometimes
tax policy has to be nuanced.
Sometimes it feels a little unfair, but I will say the nuances and the needle that we had to thread with this one, I think we really right-sized it. It put us in line with similar states.
Okay.
Yeah, a nuance should be replaced with the word punishing. Tax code should be punishing.
I'll give you one last, since somebody was brave enough to leak this to us. Call participant. She says, okay. So here's somebody who's calling in. They got a question.
So after the implementation of the millionaire's tax, fingers crossed, we will have some adjustments, right? This is a historic step. And we recognize that this is a first step.
It's a first step. First step to what?
Well, let's see. It'll be a high earners payroll tax, and then it'll be a wealth tax, and then they'll keep lowering the threshold on this. So, these are the same folks that have been saying that, there'll be no capital flight. That's just a right-wing talking point. How many people have you talked to, John, that have left the state? I can't count them on all my fingers and toes just in the last month.
Yeah, we once a week we highlight somebody who's just decided to pack it up and leave. I have to say that this is now all heading to the Supreme Court. This is like, was the receiver, was it a catch? Was it not a catch? Were both feet in? Did he drag the toe? Did he have complete control of the ball? Was he making a football move? Right? They go under the hood and then determine whether or not, did they make it? This is going to the Supreme Court. He's going to have to go under the hood on this thing and figure out. So they're going to look at 1933. So 1933 is really interesting. The farmers were getting screwed because their land had value, but they were getting paid about 10 cents an hour. They were not making any money, but they were having to pay tax on the land. So 70% of the people were in favor of taxing income as opposed to property, because that's where the state of Washington was getting most of their money, was from property taxes. So there were 4 judges in, 4 as well. The 5th judge was sick that day, didn't come in. So then they appointed some guy. The governor appointed somebody who he thought was going to be pro-income tax, right? But then when they looked at it, the story goes that prior to the ruling, the judges got paperwork that would have shown their taxes that they would have had to pay, and they're like, oh, no way. So they voted. Have you heard that story?
I have.
Okay.
Yes.
How much of that is true?
I've read in multiple sources. I mean, it sounds true that somebody, I don't know, unless you're in the room, you don't know for sure what went on, but it sounds plausible because, that's the thing with taxes and why they keep selling this as a millionaire's tax. It's easy when somebody else has to pay the bill. And then once it comes due for you, it's not so fun anymore. And that probably played out in the Supreme Court chambers on that day.
Right. Well, here is Senator Peterson saying
the thing that we hear over and over again.
That's Ursula from G and Ursula.
Is this is against the Constitution. Voters have voted against it repeatedly, and you are looking for any and every way that you can to force it. The hope that the state Supreme Court is going to rule in favor of giving this opening for a state income tax.
Okay, but look, I do not believe it is contrary to the Constitution. I believe it is completely consistent with the Constitution as it's written.
What? Should I let him finish? Stop making that face.
I think that the 1933 Supreme Court, in a 5-4 decision, made a mistake. I am asking for the Supreme Court in 2026, 93 years later, to take a second look at that. And we know that the Supreme Court all the time, both our Supreme Court and the U.S. Supreme Court, changes its mind periodically and has a new understanding. That's all that's going on. I just think they were wrong 93 years ago.
Yeah, they do it all the time periodically.
Yeah.
All right. So who's winning in this thing, Steve Gordon? Do you guys feel as if the tide will turn, or at least you'll be able to draw up the bridge and the moat will be there with alligators, and there will be no income tax in the state of Washington?
Well, a pretty clear reading of the Constitution and the precedent would lead you to believe that this thing should just be thrown out on its face. But, we'll have to fight it out. And, they lined that up so that it's going to cost a lot of money to do that. And I guess we'll go fight it. There'll probably be a ballot initiative. And whether that's a referendum or initiative, we'll find out this week because there's a court case that's going to challenge the ability to put this up for a referendum, which they purposely designed it not to be.
Yeah.
I think what we've seen in the polling is that if it's just simply framed as a millionaire's tax, it's popular. It's somebody else's problem. And then once you explain to people that there's no guardrails on it, that they can lower this tax anytime they want to any level they want, people start going, ooh, that's not so great. And then the tide turns. So, it'll be up to the people one way or another eventually to probably weigh in at the ballot box. We'll have to see what happens there and have to see what kind of tricks they pull out of their sleeve to keep it messaged that it's somebody else's bill to pay and not yours.
Let's talk about the players that are going to be there in Washington State Supreme Court. So there's 5 seats open. There was a story I think it broke a couple of days ago that the governor wanted to put somebody in there that seemed to be pro-income tax. I forget her name. Have people responded to that? Is that person still being moved forward?
There's definitely some people researching the circumstances of that. So, everybody's looking at Colleen Melody's and Theo Angelis's backgrounds since they were recent appointees. Colleen, Justice Melody worked directly for Bob Ferguson at the Civil Rights Department. So, the fact that he rewards one of his former employees with the Supreme Court seems kind of suspicious. And then, Justice Angelis, he's a donor to the Ferguson campaign. They came out of K&L Gates, the same firm that Bob Ferguson was at, Jamie Peterson was at, and now a sitting Supreme Court justice. So they're all running in the same circles and think very similarly.
Right, but that's nothing new in politics, right? It's who you know.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that there's 5 seats up this year for election, I think, first of all, most people don't know that. Heck, most people around the state don't even know we elect our judges.
Right.
So that's a problem. But we'll see. We think there's going to be some good races this fall, and hopefully people will pay attention to not just simply saying, "Oh, this person's sitting on the court already, I guess I'll just reelect them."
This battle that'll take place on the airwaves and digital and radio and television will pick up. I'm assuming September, when people start to think about this. How much money do you think Future 42 and Brian Hayward and everybody else need to come up with in order to mount a defense or offense against this income tax?
Well, for whoever ends up with the ballot initiative, that's really Let's Go Washington space. It'll take $3 to $4 million to get something qualified, and then probably another $15 million to run a campaign. So it's going to take some money, and you're going to need some money, not just from private donors, but the business community really needs to step up. The business community's been on the sidelines primarily, and I'm talking about larger businesses. A lot of smaller businesses that are horribly impacted by this are willing to step up. But some of the folks that have been willing to sit on the sideline and just not have punishment meted out on them by the legislature and the executive, they're on the menu. There's just no doubt about it. It just matter whether you're the appetizer or the dessert, but they don't like business. They don't appreciate business down there. They think that there's some greed, corruption, graft. I mean, in the framing of this, when they started working on it, they said, frame the people that'll pay this tax as villains. I mean, we're job creators. We pay benefits. We contribute to philanthropy. People that run businesses are not inherently evil, but that's the framing that they've adopted.
Well, yeah, it makes it easier to hurt somebody when you think they've done something wrong.
It's interesting, John, that the Invest in Washington Now that ran that conference call, their biggest funders are all the government unions. It's the Association for State Employees, SEIU, WEA. So, they're direct beneficiaries, and they're out there advocating for this. So I think people should keep it in mind. They try to maintain, it's just a group of friendly citizens. No, it's not. It's a union-funded deal. And the think tank that they had on there, the Economic Opportunity Institute,
yes,
where April Berg is a board member, by the way. So, she's working for the man there. That organization is funded by an investment through an endowment. I think they collected $1.5 million off of their investment income. So they are directly benefiting from a free market economy to do their advocacy work to kill the free market economy. You can't make this stuff up.
Well, it's a way of sort of giving yourself a pedicure with a shotgun. That's what happens. All right. Well, listen, Steve Gordon from Future 42, thank you for spending time in the present with us.
Yes.
Yes.
Can we tell the story of how I got this? It had nothing to do with my advocacy. It had to do with you blowing me off for a dinner date.
Oh, by the way, hold on a second. Let me say something. I didn't feel like, you know what? You went to the dinner. You spoke to those people. They're like cannibals, right? New flesh comes in and like, let's talk to this guy about something. And now Gordon, you're on the email list with them. All 14 of these guys that have nothing else to. What's that?
Prolific emails.
I have never seen, it used to be before spam. I used to get more emails to my genitals from some organization that was trying to sell me stuff. The number of emails that come in from the group, like 24 a day, 25 a day.
Yeah, you're low. You're low.
Well, guess what?
I like them. They're Patriots.
Oh yeah, they are.
I got voted in after the first dinner, so I must have made an okay impression, John.
Well, you did.
Were off doing your
welcome
John
to
thing.
the club, Gordon. Welcome to the club. All right, get out of here. Look at take the Nate in traffic.
Thanks,
Nate done. See ya. There we go, Nate. Here we go.
Yipper, JBLM, we quickly cleared that collision South 5 near the main gate. Luckily, it's a Monday night, and we really don't have much of a backup here. Tacoma to Olympia, 40 minutes. Little more backups heading into Olympia. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, just 35 minutes. We're crowded from Renton through Kent, and then you're going to clear out. Even down south of State Route 18, all clear. Seattle to Federal Way, we're down to a half-hour commute. Bellevue to Renton has improved to 25 minutes. It's still heavy from mid-Bellevue through Factoria. Here in Seattle, North 5 really hasn't changed much. Scattered backups before the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. Plan on a half hour to get through this. South 5 has improved. It's heavy now from the Ship Canal Bridge to I-90. Our lake bridges are all clear. Westbound 520, you're going to jam up at Montlake. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
You know, some of parts of your house they don't seem to work. I'm talking about the closets that are all jammed up. The garage is a complete mess. You avoid that. The pantry, you can't find the can of green beans that been back there since Thanksgiving 6 years ago. And you kind of get used to it after a while. You stop noticing that it's disorganized. You stop noticing that you can't find anything. Although it's really frustrating. You've kind of given over the fact that, well, the house just don't have enough space. Whoop, hold on. Closets by Design could come in, take a look at the closets, take a look at the garage, the pantry, the laundry room, the home office, everything, the entertainment center, the mudroom, the whole house. And you know what they see? They see the potential for space. They know that they can customize and make the house just sort of make sense again. Truly customized for you, not coming with a box of parts that they jerry-rig onto the walls. They're going to be able to see your house and see all the little places that will give you more space for organization. You get the great customized work without the customized price. 40% off plus 15% off. Big savings for you. Check them out. Give them a call right now. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN or closetsbydesign.com.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, you know, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
The throw to first, and it's in time. Holy smokes, what a play by J.P. Crawford.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But if you're looking for a truly golden view, look no further than the seats on the first baseline, a.k.a. Trident Town. Post up behind the Mariners dugout, and you get a great view of Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, and our entire rotation at work.
Swing and a miss. Fastball upstairs, blew it by him, strike three.
Not to mention the best view of the best home run celebration in baseball. When the Trident goes up, you know a party's going down.
It is gone!
Mariners baseball. Trident Sun.
With Mariners value games, you can score seats for less than $12 on select dates all season long, including the upcoming series against the Braves, Monday, May 4th through Wednesday, May 6th. Go to mariners.com/value to get your tickets and check out the full slate of value options, featuring the biggest ever Mariners value menu available every game.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granello. The Justice Department today charged the shooting suspect from California, who they say tried to storm the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche.
Today, the Department of Justice filed 3 federal charges in United States District Court against Cole Thomas Allen.
CBS's Matt Gutman reports those charges include the attempted assassination of President Trump.
Prosecutors also brought 2 federal gun charges against the California teacher, alleging he was armed with a 12-gauge shotgun, 38 semi-automatic handgun, and 3 knives.
Allen did not enter a plea today. He faces life in prison if convicted. Meanwhile, former Governor Jay Inslee is facing backlash after his social media response to the shooting. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more.
Moments after the shots rang out inside the Washington Hilton. Inslee posted on X, quote, "We cannot forget that while Trump praises law enforcement for protecting him, he totally disrespected law enforcement officers who protected democracy against his coup attempt on January 6th. Dozens of direct responses followed. "You are a soulless ghoul," one person said. Another said, "Go back to your hole and sit this one out." One Secret Service agent who was shot by the suspect, Cole Thomas Allen, investigators say, returned fire and helped make the arrest. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
National Republicans are gearing up for a heated midterm battle in Washington's 3rd congressional district. They've now added State Senator John Braun to the party's official MAGA majority program as they look to expand their majority in the House. President Trump has already endorsed Braun in his bid to unseat Representative Marie Gluesenkamp Perez. The Democrat won her last 2 elections in Southwest Washington in a district that favors Republicans. The drought that is gripping the Pacific Northwest may not end anytime soon. Federal forecasters saying there's a good chance El Nino develops and sticks with us through the end of this year. Michelle LaRoe was with the Climate Prediction Center at NOAA.
Starting in the May, June, July season, El Nino is likely to emerge about 61% and then persist through the end of 2026.
El Nino historically brings warmer and drier conditions. Officials say wildfire risk across the Northwest is expected to climb sharply by June. Now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
This one's brought to you by Seattle Sports. We are quickly clearing out at this point across most of our major routes. Here's what we're looking at. North 5 in Seattle really hasn't budged, though. We're scattered backups from the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. Half hour to get through downtown. Now, South 5, you're heavy from the Ship Canal Bridge to I-90. 20 minutes from Linwood to downtown Seattle, and that includes a little crowding through Shoreline as well. Seattle to Everett, 35 minutes. The only significant backup is at that Linwood interchange up just past 164th. Everett to Marysville is less than 10 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, 45 minutes. You're slow from 520 to 527. Bellevue to Renton has improved to 25 minutes. Still pretty heavy from about mid-Bellevue through Factoria, and then this thins out pretty quickly to scattered backups into Renton. South 5 through South Center slows from 405 to 516. And really outside of this, again, we're clearing out real quick. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Looking at your forecast now, we're going to stay dry this week, mostly cloudy for tonight and again tomorrow, and then warming up by Wednesday. We mostly sunny all the way into the weekend. Right now, 58 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
There we go. Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. Teeny, if you'd be so kind. I think you know your job. There you go. Spin the wheel. The names of all the players are on the board. Yellow, green, yellow, red, purple, magenta, new color. And it lands on Nate. Nate's not here, so then we go to the alternate, which would be Joe.
Oh, I call this the Kauai Fresh Breakfast. You just follow one of those chickens that are running around every square inch of that island.
Oh,
you
yes.
wait for it to lay a little egg. You crack that sucker right there on the side of the road, get a magnifying glass, put a little heat on it. As soon as it crisps up around the edges, it's ready to eat.
There you go. Kawahamahea Kauai, as they say. There was a hurricane that hit, and it destroyed the chicken coops, and then they never bothered to collect them again, and that's where they all came from.
Makes sense.
Wahala mahala.
Yeah.
Making all that. All right. Don't bring them on yet. Let them just listen. But, boy, we had so much fun when Mark Mullet, former senator in the great state of Washington, then he ran for governor, and then the Seahawks, boy, when that news of the Super Bowl came in, we went for about 20 minutes on Mark Mullet. Well, bring him up. Let's just, here we go. Listen. Here we go.
Issaquah Mayor Mark Mullet. And there's nothing that makes me happier than signing this proclamation saying that Issaquah is now 12Issaquah. As a 20-year Seattle Seahawks season ticket holder, this is a special moment for me. Keep your eyes on the Issaquah social media channels. We have many exciting things to come between now and the Super Bowl.
That's right. Mullet, thanks for joining the show. I don't mean to kick you in the
I'm taking credit for that. I'm just giving the Lombardi Trophy. Some people think it was the Seahawk defense. Other people are like, 12Issaquah. That's the way you get a team fired up.
We rolled on that for like 7 minutes. We ate you up. What were some of the
12 Wallop, 12ingford.
Yeah.
12 Oma.
Yeah, we couldn't stop. We couldn't stop ourselves.
12 Orchard.
I need some guidance. When the Mariners make the World Series, you guys got to come up with a good way to read.
Mullet, you know that I supported you as best I could, which then, of course, was your death knell. Everybody that I endorse or talk about on the radio, they lose, except for Katie Wilson. She won. So, listen, when you ran for governor, and I was watching some of your videos that you put up, you said, one of the things that we should look forward to, we should set a standard for how we want to talk to one another. You talked about on the West Coast, if we could actually sit down with each other, even though we disagree, we have to assume that we both want the best, right, for the people of Washington. And you were very pragmatic. And of course the voters had their say, and you had the candidates. Now, when you look at what's happening in Washington and this income tax and everything else, do you think to yourself, therefore, the grace of God that the angel of death passed over my house in Issaquah and I was spared?
My wife is convinced everything worked out for the better.
Really? Would you want to be in there fighting this? Great. Would you be wanting to be in there? I mean, you're the mayor of Issaquah now, but would you want to be in there fighting this sort of stuff there in Olympia?
But I think the writing was on the wall. I didn't have the votes to defeat this stuff anymore in my Senate role. You know what I mean? It was. I think this was a predictable outcome that it was coming, and Yeah, the veto pen, you could have defeated some things, but I don't think you had the votes in the legislature to stop what happened. And
yeah.
That was the ultimate challenge.
Yeah, it's changed a lot since Andy Hill was in there, and then of course your work in the Senate as well. It's a different vibe. But the reason we're having you on is because I saw the headline that Issaquah avoids the cost of building. They said $55 million. You just was it your idea? It's like, hey, let's rather than spending $55 million to build a new city hall, why don't we just buy something?
I became mayor on January 1st, and we spent a lot of time meeting with real estate agents, just trying to understand what was out there. And it was, so we found a building that worked. We did a creative deal with the owner where he actually gets to keep his family office in the basement of the building for the next 7 years. But that was what made him comfortable finally selling it as opposed to leasing it. And it all worked out. So we just had to be a little creative, think outside the box, and at the end of the day, I think we got a great deal.
There's nothing that some politicians love more than putting on the hard hat, the gold hard hat with the gold shovel, and then the traditional picture of them all turning over the dirt. They love spending money and building things. Were there people that really wanted a brand new city hall?
There was a whole citizen commission on that concept last year. I think at the end of the day, as you highlighted, I think we probably saved Issaquah taxpayers about $40 million by buying a building as opposed to building something from scratch. And at the end of the day, property taxes they're high in Issaquah, and I think people appreciate the fact that we're not asking them to pay any more than they already do.
What are you hearing from the citizens of Issaquah? Are they talking to you about national issues? Are they coming to you talking about this income tax? Because this is the thing that's just dominating most talk news cycles. It's all about the millionaires tax. What are you picking up there in Issaquah with some of your millionaire neighbors?
I just want Issaquah to be an oasis of tranquility. My goal is I can't solve all the world's problems, but I can do what I can in Issaquah to make it as nice of a city to live in as possible. And yeah, there's a lot of things happening outside the city that we can't control. And I mean, it'll be interesting. It seems like obviously a lot of people are voting with their feet, but they're already starting to relocate. And my hope is cooler heads prevail down in Olympia down the road. But for right now, it is the real refreshing change as mayor is you get to really focus on solving the problems that Issaquah folks care about. And a lot of that is just, spend your money wisely. You want good public safety. People really appreciate how Issaquah has always supported their local police department. And we also protect, the forested hillsides of the Issaquah Alps. So those are all things I care about. So it's been a really good fit.
Are you still, when you go into those, it's a weekly meeting, you still sit in there thinking, wow, this is a good use of my time?
Which weekly meeting? You're talking about every one of them? Or?
No, you're in there all the time. You got your kids. I think most of them have all graduated. They're all out of high school now, so they're all off.
I got 2 left in Issaquah High School.
Okay.
2 graduated from college, 2 in college, 2 in high school. But no, I really think the local government is great. I think it's been a real nice, refreshing change. It's less partisan than life was in the state Senate. And to me, that's a positive.
Yeah, I have to say that when I was on the city council of Sammamish, we always used to look at you guys disparagingly because we.
I get along great with my Sammamish city council buddies. It's
he was jealous.
We used to look at you like, look at how much money they're spending down there. Every time we'd look at your budget, we're like, well, look how many people they have on staff. Well, we do it a lot cheaper. We're cheaper over here than Issaquah. Those guys, they're spending money like crazy over there. But then we had other people on the council who were like, why can't we be more like Issaquah?
We're lucky because not only do we have a Costco, we have a Home Depot, we have a Best Buy, we have a Target, we have a Lowe's. It's hard to find a town in 40,000 some people that has that many retail stores located within it. So it's a real perk for Issaquah to have strong business and retail and Costco's global headquarters.
We had nothing. We got the Pine Lake Ale House, and we got a.
I like the Pine Lake Ale House. Don't say anything bad about the Pine Lake Ale House.
I love the Pine Lake Ale House. I'm just saying, we're like
high quality establishment.
See, we got Pine Lake. We got a McDonald's. We got a. What else we have?
Don't forget about the Zeke's Pizza in Sammamish. There's a Zeke's Pizza in Sammamish.
Oh, there we go.
I heard the owner's a really nice guy.
A little plug for you. All right, Mullet. Thank you again for getting us to the Super Bowl and most importantly, allowing us to win by renaming Issaquah what?
12's a qua. It rolls right off the tongue. Come on, Curly.
All right, Mullet, let's get back.
And you text me when you come up with a creative name for the Mariners run in October.
Oh,
come on.
You're coming on back on for that. Well, congratulations for saving the people of Issaquah $40 million plus, and you won't have to put on the weird hard hat and have the gold shovel. But continue to do the good work there, Mayor. We appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you very much.
See you,
Take
Mark.
care. Bye-bye.
Best to the family. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Thank you, John. Your Seattle Mariners has the update. North 5 scattered backups before the West Seattle Bridge to I-90. Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. Half hour to get through downtown. South 5 was starting to improve, but it's still heavy from 520 to I-90. Our Lake Bridge is wide open. Westbound 520, you've got that typical backup starting at Montlake Boulevard over to I-5. Seattle to Everett looks great, 35 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, another story. We're at 45 minutes, which isn't terrible, but you're slow from 520 up to 527. Bellevue to Renton, less than 25 minutes now, but it's still really heavy from Southeast 8 through Factoria. And Renton to Auburn on 167, 25 minutes, close to a 10-minute delay. We are slow from 180th and Renton through Kent. Randy Johnson Number Retirement Ceremony Night presented by T-Mobile is Saturday, May 2nd. Get your tickets at Mariners.com. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. One of the best decisions I made was going to K2 Vision and finding out about refractive lens exchange. Here's my sad story. Every year, I would have to go and get my eyes checked because I noticed that the prescription that I had, the glasses, weren't quite as effective. And then I noticed I had a different pair every single year. I'd have a pair to wear to drive at night because I couldn't see at night. And then I had another pair to see kind of close. It was a mess. And then I go to the doctor, and he's like, yep, looks like, well, here we go again. Your eyes just continue to get worse and worse every year. I thought, okay, well, this is ridiculous. Like, why not fix that problem as opposed to getting thicker and thicker glasses? So I started doing some research, found RLE, refractive lens exchange. I made an appointment to go in and see the doctors at K2 Vision RLE. Met Dr. Kopstein. He explained the whole thing to me. I sign up, 5 minutes one eye, 5 on the other. I go back in, I think it was the next day, maybe the next day. 20/20 vision. 20/20 vision. If you're over the age of 50, you don't want to wear readers or glasses and don't have contacts, concerned about a cataract, K2VisionRLE.com. Great move. K2VisionRLE.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
All right, Hudson, I believe you have a song. And by the way, Hudson, the sound tech is having problems. So it's I'm the mailman, and then it's as you can see. I know you got to get all those words.
I'm a mailman.
Yep.
As you can see.
Close.
I'm a mailman to be messed with me. I'm a mailman. Everything new.
Coming down.
I'm a mailman. Bring the mail to you.
Yo. Oh, wait. Oh, there's something wrong with that one. Now we're going to get to let it first take care of all the rest.
Tommy John surgery. Okay.
We're the left-hander. Take the guy out. Here we go.
Off topic. 336, which I believe is North Carolina, says, where are all the No Kings rally today? Wait for it. King Charles is in the White House.
Ooh, that's good. Bim, Marysville. Here on Mullet. He's awesome. Nice.
I concur.
Okay.
Tom in Marysville says, finally got smart. Listen to KIRO on Alexa and watch Andy Griffith with the sound down. Best of both worlds.
Simultaneously?
Apparently.
Huh. You know who's the weirdest person on that show was Floyd the Barber. Who's got the sense like there's something going on in the basement. You ever watch Floyd the Barber?
I don't.
Of Andy Griffith?
I don't think so.
Oh, hey, Andy. He's like, whoa. He's always surprised that somebody's there. He's like, oh, well, let me just clean up a little bit. Like, why was he all jumpy? Paul in Sammamish says, let's prepare to brawl. Okay. Whoops.
Ready? Do it again.
No.
That's okay. I mean, this is
nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Dina in Kent says,
get close to that.
I think you should put Nate in the book twice for doing two different accents on one show.
No accents
on
the show?
Very talented.
No accents. Assassination.
Let me get these are out of order.
Okay,
Hang on, I got this one. Jim the Liberal Trucker says, quote, this mentally ill individual who is so deeply sick in the head, I alone am the one who can fix this. Sorry, I'm confused. Are we quoting Cole Allen or Trump?
I think Cole Allen. Let's see. Paul in the 253 says, Trump inspires crazies on both sides of the aisle.
Concur. Sue on the Cedar River says, did you watch 60 Minutes? Trump sure was rude to her. There's no reason for that. That's just one observation. And how out of touch these people back there with the rest of the country. I mean, the normal citizen is on a hamster wheel Monday through Friday, maybe Monday through Monday.
By the way, I'm halfway through a book called Your Money or Your Life. You heard this one?
No.
Changes a lot of stuff in your perspective. Fernando in Seattle says, why are you giving this mentally ill guy any airtime? I don't know, Fernando. I mean, like, that's a story. Don't you think it's a story?
It's a big story.
Okay, sorry, Fernando. Sorry.
Jason Shackelford says, I was a waiter at an event in Tacoma where then Vice President Al Gore attended, and you couldn't get within 2 blocks of the building before the wall of Secret Service hit. I can't believe this guy got by.
Tamara in Tacoma says, yes, there will be another attempt. I think there isn't enough mental help in all of our country. Yeah, here it comes. Okay.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Comes to us from Stephen Puyallup. He said,
Puyallup. Okay.
The guest you had on at 5:30 kept saying Issaquah. I was born and raised in Washington, and I'm pretty intimately familiar with our state, and I'm not sure where that is. Based on his frequently mentioning the proximity to Sammamish, could he be mispronouncing 12Sequoia? Because I know where that is.
Very good, Stephen Puyallup. That's good. That's right.
We'll give him some good ones for the mayor.
That's good. That's good.
That's all she
All right,
wrote.
well, you've got a choice, fellas. We can re-rack the show.
Yeah.
Go home and drink beer.
Yes.
Or do the whole show live.
No.
All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
This one's brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Very minimal traffic at this point. Here's what we're looking at. North 5 through Seattle does still have a hefty backup from the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal. 25 minutes to get through downtown. But that's our biggest backup. South 5 still a little heavy from 520 down to I-90. Bellevue to Everett, we're down to 35 minutes. Scattered slowing from 520 to 527. Seattle to Everett cleared out long ago. Bellevue to Renton, less than 25 minutes. Still heavy from Southeast 8 through Factoria, and then it remains crowded till you get down to about the Renton Landing. Renton to Auburn on the Valley Freeway, 25 minutes. You're slow from 180th in Renton to through Kent, and then it's wide open from there. If you're heading to Bonnie Lake, eastbound 410 is bumper to bumper from 166th from at the bottom of the hill all the way up to Myers Road. As far as I can tell, this is just volume. Considering a new carrier cooling system before the summer heat wave, get a price estimate on your phone in 60 seconds from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
If you are a Washington landlord, you've noticed that things, well, they are changing. New rental laws, new rules, high cost, a lot less flexibility. And most landlords, they know the rent, they know the mortgage, and they know the property value, but there's a whole bunch of other numbers in there that they really need to take a look at. Taxes, vacancies, repairs, your time, actually cost to exit someday. A lot of these things are overlooked. If you want a full picture, some rentals seem fine, but they're not. And if you sell without a tax plan, you're going to be hit with big taxes and a big nasty surprise as well. That's why Madrona Financial and CPAs are hosting a free webinar workshop for landlords who want the clarity. They'll show you how to evaluate the true performance of the rental, with whether selling makes sense, and how to do it with tax efficiency. Now, Madrona Financial's free landlord exit strategy workshop is taking place tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. So there's no politics involved. There's no pressure at all. It's just real math and real explanations. Seats are limited, and I'm telling you, they go fast because people want this guidance. You can reserve your spot today at 833-673-7373 or madronafinancial.com/events.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. Hey, Bob, you had a hip issue just like me. You went to see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. What did he tell you?
You got a torn labrum, you got a frayed ligament, you've got arthritis developing. He said, this isn't going to fix everything, but it will go a long way. I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff beyond jiu-jitsu.
So, just like me, Dr. Wagner does stem cell on your hip. How you feeling now?
I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now.
So whether it's a shoulder, a hip, a wrist, knee, or elbow, before you choose surgery, see our friend, Dr. Wagner first. He'll tell you if stem cell is right for you. drmarkwagnermd.com. Make an appointment at drmarkwagnermd.com.
The action is fierce, the energy is over the top, and it's a night you don't want to miss. It's Excite Fight Live MMA at Muckleshoot Casino Resort on Saturday, May 23rd at 7 p.m. See a full night of incredible combat when MMA fighters face off in the cage and turn the excitement all the way up. Get your tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
Save $10 on a pair of Bosch Focus wiper blades. Our professional parts people will even install them for free at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Free your team from time-consuming procurement tasks. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure